everybody, and welcome back to more Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse. Alright, I need to load up the flowchart so I can remember what happened last time, because I don't remember. Alright, so, we did treasure hunt. I think that was yesterday, or last time, yesterday. I think that was last time. We found out that, the curse of the mermaid curse, the one that turned you into a fish, was sealed in a box, and that box also had instructions for how to seal the final, seal the curse of the raging waves. We found out that there is another immortal hanging out, and we found out from Sato's side that, well, actually, how did we find out? I think it was like through one of these, right? We found out that there is at least one other immortal, and then we had to make a guess who it was, and it turns out that Yuza is immortal. That's how he survived the accident, the incident. So now we have two places we can go. We can either continue his story, find out what the heck's going on with him, or we can follow up on these two. I guess we haven't seen Yuza in a while, but like, we kind of just want to do the backstory, you know? I just want to see what's going on here. It'll probably help advance things if we do this first. Then we also have found some new birds. One new bird. Is this like... Okay, everyone's friends with this one. The albatross boss, except for this dude who kind of hates him a little bit. The gull father. We don't know who this is yet, who the mystery relationship is. This guy looks like a Gundam. Everyone hates this dude. Anyway. Alright, so let's start here, and let's see what we can do. Alright, summary previous says the Tamate Bako, yeah, so we found a box, and there's also a Tamate Bako, which we have to find. We don't know where it is. But it's supposed to be someone from the descendant of Taishima. Alright, let's go. Date unknown still. Also, I need to be on the lookout for taking screenshots. Can I? I don't have any room. Alright, we'll just do this. Alright. Hello again, Arnav Barnum's back on the scene. Allow me to summarize. Why? As expected, Ikoma contacted us today, telling us we'd have to wait a little longer before we could meet the descendant. Thus, figuring he had no intention of letting us meet her anyway, we decided to use Circe's ability to go looking for the descendant ourselves. Who exactly are you talking to? Merely setting the scene. Really feels like it's raised the stakes, no? Makes it feel more like a thrilling adventure. Sure, you got me all worked up. Oops. Up. But I'm trying to concentrate. Could you please stop distracting me? Alright, sorry. The back of her head. Screen cap. Maybe that'll be useful for something. Oh, we don't have anything else. This is the town of Ichika in Toba City. The area is one of many in the area renowned for its armor divers. I don't know why he's talking like that now. Any birds? Any birds in chat? Any birds? No birds? Alright. Circe is using her dowsing ability to search for the descendant right now. What's that? Doesn't her dowsing only let us look for spiritual energy? And on top of that, doesn't she have to be familiar with the energy she's looking for? That's right, I was thinking the same thing. However, Circe was perfectly prepared. Before parting with Ikoma yesterday, she asked him to hand the iron box to the descendant when he paid her a visit. She said the descendant ought to have it, since it is so deeply connected to Taishima's history. Ikoma agreed on the matter and would apparently go through with it, assuming he did hand it over. That seems like a bad idea. Is that what caused her to get cursed? Then the iron box with its massive amount of spiritual energy has fallen right into the lap of our target. Now Circe just has to use our dowsing to locate the box. At least that's the plan. She seems focused. Best not to interrupt her for now. Circe is completely focused on dowsing right now. There are several types of dowsing techniques, but it seems she's using a pendulum. How far is it going to zoom out? Will I be able to take a screen cap of this pendulum? Let's do this. This. Alright, perfect. It would seem that the necklace she wears can be used for such a purpose. The closer you get to the target, the stronger the pendulum swings. Alright. Let's go. Where are we? I guess we just got to talk to her, right? No? However, her dowsing range is limited. With the spiritual energy the iron box possesses, its range is probably just 2 to 3 kilometers. So we need to narrow down the target area somewhat before starting our search. So any idea where we might start looking for the descendant? I think Mr. Akoma said something about visiting her several times before she finally agreed to talk, didn't he? He did, which would mean that she doesn't live far away. She must live close enough for him to have paid her frequent visits. Yes, exactly. So I think it'd be best to start by searching the towns within Toba. I see, but there are quite a few towns in the area, right? About that, when we departed yesterday, Mr. Ikuma mentioned something else that stuck with me. When you asked to meet his the descendant, he said he'd probably drop by later anyway, since he also had to handle the matter with Miss Suma. Yeah, right, he did say that, so basically... Descendant lived close to Suma. He said he'd likely... he said it like he would drop by while he was on the area, so they likely lived close to one another. Yes, I was thinking the same. Those towns with many armor divers are our top candidates. So that means we should probably start by searching all the towns in Toba that are home to a lot of armor divers. That's right. We can make our way up by searching along the coast for starters. The descendants live in your bathtub? Why are you keeping them there? It'd be nice if we'd at least learn the descendant's name. Yep, lead on that. Think of your research into the past of this place. What was the name of the Taishima survivor? Does it actually say? Hatsune Miku. Somekawa. It did say. Somekawa. Somekawa! That's what Taishima's survivor was called. If there are any descendants, then they may still bear the same name. That's right. It's another clue we can follow. So many huge snails. And so we ended up spending the morning traveling along the coast from one fishing town to another. This is the 4th town we've searched so far. It's about time we actually find something. So, Circe, what's the situation? Want to give it a try? Really? Will it still work if it's me? I'll still be holding the pendulum, but you can see for yourself if you'd like. Color me intrigued. I'm in. Intrigued is not a color, Abby. Alright, just like this. Hold the pendulum. Direct me to move in different directions to see what reacts. Very well, bring it on! Oh. The pendulum won't respond right away, so the trick is to point it in one direction and wait a while. Once you find the spot where it reacts the strongest, just shout that you figured it out. Got it. When it comes to yelling, I'm your guy! Welcome in, the docent! Thanks for dropping by. Oh, I can have my Eureka. Alright, where should... Alright, listen. Is she in that house? Maybe she's not in that house. Maybe she's down the street. Maybe she's in the water. Maybe she's in the clouds. Birds in chat. Cloudy with a chance of descendants. Maybe she lives in there. I guess she lives there. There, right there! Look at that turn and... Well... Alright, when she said something, hold on. I didn't read that. Not quite. The reaction should be much stronger than that. Takes a little time for it to react. If you move around too fast, it might be too hard to notice. Move around too fast, it might be too hard to notice. They'll be searching this place high and low for information. So that's how it works. Got it! Well, it is moving a lot, though. Right. Is there like a place where it'll start spinning even more? I mean, it's literally right here somewhere. Oh, it's okay. This is even bigger. You got it! So that means it's somewhere up there? Well, it might be a bit further out, but at least we figured out what direction to go. In the shrubbery! I knew it! It was about time we've hit the right spot. Alright, let's follow this thing and see where it leads us. Right. I like the footsteps where they don't move. This is it. It's the apartment furthest back on the building's ground floor. The bug background noises in so many games, right? I need to find out where they got it, so I can use it too. Just like play it on stream. Got it. Hello, anybody home? You don't hesitate, huh? Oh, we're here on behalf of Mr. Ikoma. No answer, I guess no one's home. No, I can sense a presence. Hello, we'd like to talk about the iron box. What is it? I don't remember. Oh, I guess I gave her a kind of like southern or like a country-ish accent. You too. Avi and Cersei, was it? Hold on a second. Windows is bothering me about what updates. So you're the one who found that iron box. Yes, that's right. You know, I've never talked to foreigners before. So nervous I can hardly think straight. Please, no need to be so tense, Miss Samakawa. I promise we're both harmless and cheerful. Right. Congrats, Mario, on claiming the throne. And also for being first. How's it going? Hope you're having a good one.
Paper Mario 141 was first.
Let's see. Right. Surroundings. So this is Miss Samakawa's home. Even with the lights on, it's strangely dark inside. Even though it's daytime, the shutters are kept tightly shut. You can hardly hear any noise from outside either. Maybe she's just got a massive hangover. You ever think of that? At a quick glance, I can't spot anything that looks like a tomato in the room. I suppose it makes sense she wouldn't just keep it out in the open. Is there anything for being firstest the mostest? No. It's not. I don't think we even keep track. She may look calm on the surface, but I know she must be excited to peek inside a traditional Japanese home. Well, a wooden apartment like this is pretty old school. I can see why she'd be geeking out. The calmest geeking out. I'm so glad we got a chance to talk with her. She was more willing to meet us than expected. That iron box proved more useful than I thought. Good work, Cersei. This is so zoomed in you could see the pixels. I'll treat you to more onigiri senbei later. Alright, I guess. I mean, do we have another thing? She is the descendant of the last Tashima survivor. The way she dresses makes her look older, but I'd say she's probably around my age. I thought she'd be difficult to deal with, but now that we've actually met her, I'd say it's more like she's extremely cautious, the type to never let her guard down. I can't imagine the kind of life she's led. Still, the fact that she's wearing traditional clothing is actually quite charming. I've hardly seen anyone wearing traditional clothes since coming to Japan, which was a bit of a shock, to be honest. How old is he? I don't remember. He's 40. Tell us about yourself. Allow me to emphasize what an honor it is to meet a descendant of Tashima. Who's to say it's even true? I suppose your family must have lived in this town for generations? Yeah, I moved here a couple years back. Oh, why is that? That's got nothing to do with the two of you. Fair enough. Then if you don't mind me asking, do you have any other family or relatives, Miss Somikawa? Why? Apologies, I was merely wondering if there are any other descendants. Dunno, but I'm probably the only one left. That too will come to an end soon enough. What do you mean by that? No more than what I said. So do you live here by yourself, Miss Somikawa? Is there anyone else who's better to talk to? That's right. She's saying nothing. Let's talk about the iron box. Where exactly did you come across the iron box? Her expression changed very slightly. I followed this map that was in my family's possession. Supposedly it was left behind by the Onmyoji who sealed away the curse of Tashima. The map, you say? It led us to the iron box. It must have been resting at the bottom of Ise Bay. Since it's such a valuable artifact deeply connected to Tashima's lost history, we felt we absolutely had to tell you about it, Miss Somikawa. Oh yeah? If I may say so, I notice your interest in the iron box. Could it be already knew of its existence? I don't know it was a box, but I'd been told something still remained of the island. That makes sense. Speaking of that box, I suppose there was something inside. Yes, inside was a record detailing how Tashima was destroyed, along with information on the curse of the raging waves. A record? Allow me to fill you in on the details. And that sums it up. Such a horrid man, would you say, massacring the people of Tashima because he wanted to find Mermaid that bad. The grudges left behind by the events coalesced into two separate curses, and ultimately Tashima was destroyed, along with everything else. I'm sure it must be excruciating to hear the tale of how your ancestors' home was destroyed. But I believe this story should be passed down so that people can learn of Tashima's true history. Wouldn't you agree? That was all recorded in that box. Yeah, that's what we're going with. That's the story we're going with. That was all recorded in that box. By the way, you may consider this the curious whims of a fantasy author, but would you be able to elucidate me on some of the stories that have been passed down in your family? Very tiny letters, yes. No, I get it. You came here because you wanted to ask about mermaids, huh? She's funny how her frown is the best. It's great. She's like so leave. She just wants you to leave, but she's not gonna say it out loud. You got me. Alright, you got me there, it's true. But can you blame me? As a fantasy author, it is in my blood. If mermaids truly do exist, then I must sate my curiosity. Knew it. Whatever your motives, you're not getting the tamate baka. Not falling for one of Ikoma's schemes. I'm not gonna share the family's legends of Tashima with just anyone. Did you just say that Ikoma is after the tamate bako? Oh, so you didn't know. Tomato Chewbacca. No, tobacco. Chewing tobacco. Well, he is. That's exactly why I hid it somewhere where no one will ever find it. I see. It must be very precious to you then. Well, I'm relieved that the iron box found its way to you then. So, was there a cursed stone inside the iron box? A cursed what? Don't play dumb. There must have been one. Well, whatever do you mean? A cursed stone? I've never heard such a thing. What is it? Well, if there wasn't one, then I got nothing else to tell you. Get out of here. Yep, I just remember there was a cursed stone in the box after all. I knew it. Now about a trade. You do want the tamate baka, don't you? Oh, a trade. Gonna use that to turn someone into a fish? Turn someone into a fish? I didn't think we'd be going this far out. You certainly shook me when you said we had to take a boat all of a sudden. To think that tamate baka would be hidden at sea, what an incredible plot twist. My apologies, I guess that's just the writer and me coming through. This is all too thrilling. So this is around the same time when Yumiko and whatever his name was, or came to look for her. This is when Circe was like, we had the cursed battle with Circe. You sure can talk. Oh, believe it or not, I'm actually holding back. I can actually go on at length once I get started. My favorite part about this is that their sprites are clearly just standing up still. They're just cut off so that it looks like they're sitting in the boat. That wasn't praise. There's nowhere to run on an island. No matter where you go, someone's always near. It's always too loud, written on the ears. See though, once you get out this far, it's nice and quiet. Nothing but the sound of the waves, no talking, no irritating folk commotion. Only fish swimming without a sound. This is fine, stop the boat. Are you using any landmarks or anything? It's wild that you just know where it is. Butterfly. Skigami! Oh, it's Circe's. Whoa! This is one of Circe's abilities, a Shikigami. When someone's name is written on a piece of paper, she can make that paper fly towards that person. They're great for delivering messages or tracking down someone. I was pretty spooked the first time I saw it, but I've gotten used to it. Okay, fine, I did just go, whoa, but not because I was actually surprised or anything. There's something wrong? That's nothing, don't mind me. Wonder if something happened to Circe, I'd better read the note. Arnav Barnum. Let's take a look. Ran into two suspicious people looking for Miss Samakawa. Drove them off for now, but be careful. Seems like something happened on Circe's end. I better stay alert just in case, but I don't think I'll mention this to Miss Samakawa. It'd only shake her up. We're somewhere off the coast of Turba City, accompanied only by the sound of the waves and the cries of seabirds. She really hide the tamate baka here in a place with no landmarks whatsoever. And if it's at the bottom of the ocean here, how are we supposed to retrieve it? Miss Samakawa used to be an armor diver. Could she be planning to go down and get it herself? Is that a thing we knew about her? She looks so solemn. Wonder what's going through her mind. Not going to lie, I'm a little concerned she still hasn't told me the conditions of our trade. Will she ask me to trade her the cursed stone? Doesn't seem like there's anything else. I'm not seeing any birds. No birds. Oh, nope, that's not a bird. That's a... spoiler? What are they... oh, it's something. It's like a hook or something. For something to attach something to, maybe? I don't know. Will she push you overboard? I think the curse activation requires them to be submerged in the water of Ise Bay, right? We've come all the way out here to the middle of the sea on Miss Samikawa's request. This boat can only carry 2 people, so I'm afraid. So I've left Cersei to watch the shore. I feel like there's more than enough space for a 3rd person. Given that Ikaba's after the Tamatibako as well, he might try to interfere if he learns of this. So Cersei is keeping an eye out to make sure he doesn't try to follow us. It's reassuring to have some backup. So someone's been tailing us all along. I don't know if they're tailing you. I think they just want to talk to her. So will you tell me what you want to trade for the Tamatibako now? I would appreciate a Gengar. You've got the Forsaken Fish Curse Stone with you, right? Sure do. Have a good look. The Forsaken Fish Curse Stone. Looks like the real deal, alright. You want to trade the stone for the Tamatibaka, right? I figured as much. Well, I'm fine with those terms. Let's do it. No, that ain't it. Oh, that ain't it. What do you want? You know, I once had a sister. Her name was Mara Samikawa. Okay, they're siblings. You say you had a sister. Does that mean... Yeah, she's gone. Died in an accident at sea about 5 years ago. I see. My condolences. So there actually was another descendant. I want you to fishulate me. You folks seem to be pinning your hopes on me just because I'm one of the descendants. But the one who actually inherited our duty wasn't me, it was my sister. Your duty? That's right. The duty of the Tashima bloodline. It's been passed down in our family for generations. Even more, our generation would be the one to handle the 400th year since the disaster. My grandpa always said that was particularly important. So there was a duty to Tashima's descendants who were meant to perform after 400 years. But I was young back then. I still had dreams of my own. I wanted no part in some annoying duty, so I ran away from home the first chance I got. Did she live on the streets or something? Does she look like this? 400 years and still haven't washed off the duty. I pushed all of that responsibility onto my sister, but I know I should have helped her. I see, so that's why your sister was the one who inherited that duty. Before we discuss the trade, would you take the time to listen to my story? Very well, I'm listening. Dramatic music. This duty you mentioned, was it to break what remained of the curse of the raging waves? I suppose they were connected, but lifting the curse would have been a step along the road, but it wasn't the goal. Oh really? Then what was it? Well, it was to return the mermaid that was left behind at Ise Bay to Ryugu. That was the real duty of the Tashima bloodline. Return a mermaid? My thoughts exactly, Avi. There's a mermaid still around? But who? So it's true. There really was a mermaid stuck in Ise Bay because she couldn't return to Ryugu. That's right. Her name was Yaki Sobai. Her name was Sobai. So, she's come up in our research, so she was real after all. Let's read about Sobai. They don't say the names of the mermaids, it looks like. Maybe over here? Sobai Nagame and Hayase. You see, my sister that took on the family duty, seems like she actually met Sobai herself.
She got to meet the mermaid?
After leaving my hometown and making a living as an armor diver, I'd all but forgotten about the duty I'd left behind. No idea what our duty actually entailed. When I finally learned the truth, I was crushed by regret.
Regret? Why?
You know, ever since I was a little girl, I'd always been fascinated by mermaids. Ever since I watched that one Disney movie.
Understandable. Me too.
I read The Little Mermaid so many times. The pages of the book had started to wear away. I could see them in my dreams over and over. Back then I wanted nothing more than to become a mermaid. It's what led to me becoming an armor diver in the first place. But the truth of the true nature of the family duty is only revealed to the one who inherits it.
I see. What bitter irony. But couldn't you meet the mermaid after you learned the truth?
My sister took pity on me and attempted to call her to meet me once in secret. My sister Mara even had shared some of the things the mermaid had told her. But you know, Sobai was a cautious mermaid who never truly opened her heart to anyone but my sister. Me, on the other hand, she avoided. I was never even allowed as much as a glimpse.
Quite the bitter outcome.
Mara and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. Does that... We did hear the story of a mermaid who recently became human. Is it someone we've met, though? Sobai. I don't think we've met anyone with a name similar to that. So it seems unlikely. It seems unlikely that it'd be someone we've met already. Mara and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. Shotaro is the mermaid. But she never once showed herself to anyone other than my sister. Not even to a close relative like myself.
So she hid herself away for 400 years. Was such caution really necessary? Your sister must have been quite an incredible person to earn the mermaid's trust. Though I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be rejected by an existence you so deeply admired and no longer to meet.
Mara moved to Kamishima to be closer to Ryugu. All for the mermaid's sake. And one day she got married and changed her name to Mara Mitakuchi. She seemed so happy.
So she got married on Kamishima?
I was so jealous. I couldn't think straight. And ended up lashing out pretty badly. In an attempt to destroy my sister's relationship with the mermaid, I grabbed our family heirloom and ran off.
Ah, the infamous Tamatobako, yes?
Yeah, the mermaid was supposed to take it back to Ryugu. So our family had carefully kept it for centuries. So the years went by. Is she gonna ask him to turn her into a mermaid and kill her, basically? And 5 years ago I learned that Mara had died in an accident, and that's why I came back to Toba. Thought that maybe this meant the duty would pass on to me.
Of course.
But then our parents and all our relatives had already passed away. There was no one left to do about our duty. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know a thing. Not where the mermaid was, nor how to call her. I'd given up. But while I was digging around, that man Ikoma found out I was a descendant of Taishima. You see, I was struggling to get by. I'd sold the information my sister had told me about the mermaid. Back then I was making a living by giving folks a glimpse at the Tamatobako for a ridiculous price.
And that brings us to the present, I suppose.
What were you doing this entire time?
In other words, since your sister died in the accident, your family's duty was never fulfilled. And now you are just to find the mermaid for you?
That ain't it.
Dang.
Guess it must have been about 3 months ago. I was wandering the coast alone when the mermaid Sabai appeared before me.
Oh, you finally got to meet her.
She told me this. The seal on Ryugu's gateway has been lifted, so I will be returning. Your sister has done a great deal for me. I now ask you to return the Tamate Bako.
Wait, what? The seal was lifted. Is that perhaps why the curse of the raging waves became active again? So what about the Tamate Bako? Did you return it to the mermaid?
I was so overcome with emotion and excitement, I told her. I've hidden the relic. If you want it back, take me to Ryugu.
You said what?
Not being able to fulfill my duty had been weighing heavy on my heart. But in that moment, the pain was gone. On top of that, I figured the mermaid had come to fetch me. Being able to visit the land of the mermaids, there'd be no greater happiness than that. But Tobias simply told me it wasn't possible and that she'd forfeit the relic, and with that, she was gone.
Oh. So the mermaid has already returned to Ryugu then?
Ever since then, all I felt is despair and regret. I'm completely empty inside. There's nothing left. How was the seal lifted then, I wonder? Family duty has been fulfilled. That's what I meant when I said it was all over.
But then the Tamate Bako still exists, doesn't it?
Sure does, but... even with such a fancy name, in the end, it's just a grimy old box. I opened it once. I was hoping there'd be some elixir of eternal youth inside or something, but it was completely empty.
I see. Even so, I'd still like to trade for it.
Sure. I don't see why, but whatever. It's not like anything matters anymore. I'm just sick and tired of it all.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I never did figure out what the Tamate Bako really was. Mermaid forfeited it just like that, so maybe it never had any meaning to begin with. I guess the question is how Yuza got to be immortal, because we know that you had to put the mermaid flesh in the Tamate Bako first.
So what do you want to return?
I want to do whatever it takes to become a mermaid.
Miss Sumikawa, don't tell me. You want me to use the curse stone?
Simply returning to the sea? That's my only wish.
No, listen, there's nothing even remotely beautiful about the curse of the Forsaken Fish. All it will do is turn you into a twisted half-fish monster. Nothing but a grotesque imitation of a mermaid.
I know. That's fine with me. This curse is the essence of that mermaid's power. I'm ready to offer up my life to her.
But...
whatever you do, I'll just be trying to myself anyway. So you won't be dirty in your hands. All you have to do is use the curse. My wish will be granted, and you would be doing me a kindness. That's all there is to it.
just hold on a minute, okay? This is just...
The Tamate Bako is hidden beneath the floorboards of my house. Please do this for me.
Miss Sumikawa, wait! Oh, she's already gone. Will she come back up if I just wait long enough? Damn it, now what do I do? Should I grant her last wish? It's surely no worse than helplessly standing about as she drowns herself. Right, she was serious about this. She's been dreaming about mermaids ever since she was little. I know exactly how that feels. Maybe a curse, but still, I will honor her wishes by unleashing the mermaid's power. That's how she wanted to go. I might be the only one who actually understands Miss Sumikawa's feelings. If I don't act now, I'll be denying her final hope like a dream. There's nowhere to be seen, of course. She's an armor diver after all. Is it too late to call for help, even if she wouldn't accept it?
Is there anything else? Alright, I guess this is the only other option, is use the curse.
Ah!
Azusa Sumikawa. A woman living in Toba, although she occasionally does work as an armor diver, it is unclear who she is and where she came. As Amara Mitakuchi's younger sister, Azusa is the descendant of the sole survivor of a Taishima, Following the destruction of Tashima, the Somikawa line hid themselves away, living for generations in a small village within the city of Shima. The book The Little Mermaid was a constant fixture in the household. Decision made so that the children of the family would grow up with a familiarity with mermaids, and Azusa read it repeatedly as she grew up, the tale fueling a fervent admiration for mermaids within her. Upon realizing that she could never be a mermaid herself, she instead decided to become an ama diver, thinking that it would at least allow her to swim freely through the sea like the beings she so admired. Thus resolved, she left her town behind, leaving the family duty nothing more than a troublesome burden to Azusa, to be handled by her elder sister alone. For all intents and purposes, it appears that Azusa's wish had been granted. However, upon returning home following her parents' deaths, she was taken aback to learn that the family duty inherited by Mara was in itself deeply connected to mermaids. Forgetting how she had pushed the duty onto Mara to follow her own desires, Azusa grew deeply resentful of her sister, accusing her of keeping the mermaid to herself and asserting her right to take up the family duty, but it was too late. Mara and the mermaid had already forged an unbreakable bond that no amount of words or deeds could undo. Following Maria's death, she was finally able to meet the being that had enchanted her for so long. However, her desperate plea for the mermaid to take her back to Ryugu with her was met with staunch refusal, and the mermaid left shortly after, never to return. With her opportunity to fulfill the family duty gone, and her chance at connecting with the mermaids lost, Azusa sank into despondency, spending her days in an empty haze. Amidst this despair, the curse of the Forsaken Fish that had appeared before her seemed to be a final chance to have her wish granted. Driven by regret over what she perceived as a life of wrong choices and consumed by her obsession, she threw herself into Ise Bay and surrendered herself to the curse, ultimately dying due to its effects. Her form, writhing in the agony brought on by her sudden transformation, bore no resemblance to the mermaid she had once so admired as a child. Yet it is said that the expression on her face and her body was discovered a day later, when her body was discovered a day later in Futamigaura, seemed somehow content. So bye. One of the 3 mermaids who are said to have lived near Taishima about 400 years ago, she has since returned to her home, Ryugu. Or has she? Why did her profile show up? I wonder.
After that,
Like how it's barely fitting there.
we managed to quietly retrieve the tobacco from inside the floor in Miss Sorikawa's house. All that was left to secure...
Oh, she looks so surprised.
to secure the dream of immortality was to obtain mermaid flesh. Since Obai had already returned to Ryugu, we placed our hopes on the last remaining mermaid, Nagame. But we had to act fast, otherwise Ikuma or even those Paranormal Affairs Bureau's psychics would get on our way. It might have been the after effects of using the curse, but I got sick the next day and had to spend a full day bedridden at the inn. How pathetic. That's when I heard the news that 2 female divers had gone missing near Toba. The fact that I'd been involved in both incidents made me feel even worse. When Circe heard the news, she just mumbled something with an unreadable expression on her face. I had no choice, there was simply no other way. Or at least that's what I kept telling myself as I struggled to get out of bed. The next day, August 7th, we set out to gather more information on Nagame and the other mermaids. We traveled to Kamishima, the island where Mare Sorikawa, or rather Mare Mirakuchi, used to live.
Yay! Alright, let's explore what they're doing on this island then. Why are these borders different? Like these two have like a black border going on. Also, this one's covered in like mist. I don't know what that means, if it means anything.
Finally, after a long, arduous journey, we have arrived at the fabled island of Kamishima. Yeah, you're alright. You don't look so good.
You mean you're completely fine? The whole area's literally oozing cursed energy. I didn't think it was so bad before. Is it getting stronger?
Can't you dispel curses?
Minor ones, sure. But this is on a whole other level.
I see. It might be best we don't stay here too long, then.
Or that you missed something.
Let's just ask around as much as we can. When you feel like you've reached your limit, make sure to tell me, okay?
Got it. I'll do my best.
Alright, let's start by asking the locals about mermaid legends first. I'd like to ask around to see if anyone knows Mari Minakuchi as well. That's the plan, let's move.
That's it? Oh. Hello. Huh? Why did it split? Yuza heads out with Azami to go diving before he suddenly mentions something he must do. Where? Huh?
So, what's this important thing you have to do, Yuza? Sounds like it must be a pretty big deal.
It is. I just hope you believe me. Listen and don't fly off the handle.
What?
Oh.
Please forgive the interruption. I have an important announcement to make. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Everything is ready for you to proceed. On August 7, upon returning to Kamishima after his dive, Yuza Minakuchi embarks on the fight of a lifetime. For unbeknownst to him, at this precise moment in time, a slew of predicaments would await him everywhere he returned. As for this really important thing he has to do, that is of course preventing the tragedy of Kamishima from coming to pass. The advent of the 400-year-old curse of the raging waves draws nearer Kamishima with every passing moment.
What is this music? It's great. It's very adventurous, heroic.
Even so, do try to remember that Yuza's true aims are to locate a mermaid and uncover the truth about his mother. Will Yuza Minakuchi succeed in overcoming these tasks and fulfilling his objective, you ask? That is entirely up to you and the actions you choose to take from this moment forth. Thus concludes my announcement. I wish you good fortune.
What is this? What? You think Kikuko is plotting to work a curse that'll cause a massacre on the island? Yes, you might find it hard to believe, but I'm sure about this.
You're gonna have to give me a second to take this in. This is way heavier than I was expecting. I mean, a curse? I know I told you about the Tomokazuki and all of it. How did you even find out about this? Have you got any proof?
Well, I saw the future with my own two eyes, but I'm afraid I don't have any proof I can show you right now.
You saw the future? Yuza, if this is some kind of prank, you better cut it out right now. Seriously, this shit isn't funny. If you're just fooling around, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
You think it's that easy for me to call someone I'm on friendly terms with a murderer? I couldn't say something like this unless I was dead certain. I need you to trust me on this, Azami, before it's too late.
Oh man, you're not making this easy, Yuza.
It can't just... I mean... No, I understand. I won't ask you to believe me until I can present you with solid proof. Until then, I still need your help. I can't just sit back and let this happen.
Okay, I won't try to stop you, but I'm not doing anything drastic till I'm sure we're doing the right thing.
That's all I needed to hear. Thanks, Azami.
But for real, what's gotten into you, Yuza?
What do you mean?
I know you're headstrong and all, but this is way beyond what I'd expect from you. It's like you're a totally different person.
Come on, you're exaggerating. The same old Yuza I've always been. Does that mean he... Well, he's still aged. He's still aged, though. He's not, like, permanently 12 or however old he was. So... Huh? What are you two doing here? What's with that getup, Yuza? Don't tell me you've been diving. You good? Do you have a minute? I heard you were heading out to the northern shore to fish in the bay today, so I came out to find you. Why would you hear that? I only just decided that this morning. I didn't even tell anyone. We're on the northern side of Kamishima. Not many people come here to fish. No, I wanted to examine Kameshi, what was it called? Kameshimaru. Tell Azami's trying to believe in me. It's a good start, at least. Are you sure about this?
Just so we're clear, I'm leaving the talking to you.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This is where it all begins. This is my chance. I have to find my way to change the future. I don't have any evidence, and I doubt I can just talk Kiku out of this. You don't have to do something like that on a whim. Whatever her motives are, they must be powerful. Yet I somehow managed to get her curse stone. There's still the risk that whatever destructive impulse has a hold of her, would drive her to make the tragedy happen some other way. This is why my best bet of continuing this situation is to try and distract her. And to chase the future one step at a time. There's no rush. After all, since we came here instead of heading back to port, things are already different. I think... Well, first of all... I think I need to... I should read that. I should visit that other chapter first. It feels like we're doing this slightly out of order. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's been 1 week since the night Kamishima was struck by a tragic storm of mysterious attacks. All in all, it resulted in 16 casualties, 7 missing, 20 buildings totally or partially destroyed. A horrific calamity. Caused a huge stir when news broke about what happened. The culprit responsible for the massacre is still unknown, and the investigation is still ongoing. I went diving this morning for the first time since that day. No one's taking our boats out right now, so it was just a short dive from the shore. Oh, hello, you two. Sometimes I think about the plans we all made to have fun here, and wonder how that would have gone if things hadn't turned out the way it did. Guess there's no point in thinking about it now, though. They're here to imprison me in a box for being immortal, I think, is what's happening. Culprit behind the massacre. Still don't know who the culprit behind the massacre or the so-called assassin was. The investigation is proceeding under the assumption that it was one of the 2 people who went missing that night. But it seems like it's not making much progress. Among other things, they're having to conduct it behind closed doors so word doesn't get out that it was caused by a curse. Many people tried to escape the island by sea that night, but most of them ended up getting caught in the storm and going missing. Could the culprit behind the massacre have been among them? Let me grab a little screenshot of these 2. Curse of the Raging Waves. Same night as the attack on Kamishima. A massive storm caused by this Curse of the Raging Waves broke out in the sea to the south of the island. Seems the bronze mirror my mom left wasn't enough to hold back the curse by itself after all. Many of those who attempted to flee the island by boat were caught in the storm and are still missing. The storm descended on Kamishima soon afterwards, and the island was swept by harsh winds and lashing rain for 3 days straight. No one was able to leave their homes, and it caused blackouts and landslides across the island. Several buildings were also completely destroyed. Everyone was made painfully aware of just how fearsome the Curse of the Raging Waves is. Combined with the horror of the massacre, the entire ordeal has left a deep scar on those who remain. There's still an eerie rumbling coming from the sea, and no one knows when another storm might strike again. Everyone here is still too on the edge to take their boats out to fish, and the ferry service to the island is currently suspended as well. Naturally, no one paid me any mind when I headed out to dive today. A pair from Tokyo, who had apparently come to Kamishima to try and find a way to dispel the Curse of the Raging Waves. They were extremely regretful about failing to stop the storm and went around apologizing to everyone in its wake. Seems they were still planning to find a solution, though, and have asked for my cooperation. The storm struck before we could even mourn those who were killed and left the town in tatters. Things are barely functioning right now. Everyone somehow managed to get by on the aid we're receiving, but it's apparently going to take years to fully rebuild. Some people fled Kamishima the moment they could, citing whatever happened as proof of some sort of divine punishment. But most of those who stayed behind are already trying to put the tragedy behind them and look to the future. They managed to get back on their feet 5 years ago, so I'm sure they'll be fine this time too. Although they've been bombarded by accusations and demands for them to take responsibility, the welcomers have been busy doing whatever they can. Following news reports on the calamity, there was an uptick in unsavory rumors that Kamishima is cursed in some way, But perhaps because of the current occult craze, a bunch of people have expressed interest in visiting once all the restoration work's done. The mail order service for souvenirs that was set up to help fund recovery efforts has been flooded with orders. Okay. Silver lining, I guess? I don't have much to show for my dives today. The catch has been pretty pitiful, to say the least. Looks like I really am hopeless without Azami. Azami and Tsukasa's bodies were found in front of the lighthouse. There's no way of knowing what happened to them now, but I'm told Azami was found collapsed on top of Tsukasa's, though he tried to protect her to the very end. I wouldn't have expected anything less from him. Unable to bear the tragedy that had befallen Kamishima, Sato Shiranami apparently gave herself over to the assassin and left the island with them. I don't know if whoever sent the assassin got what they wanted in the end. I'm probably never coming back. But either way, they took any chance of my seeing her again with them. I doubt I'll ever meet her again. I mean, she's dying in like a couple days, they said, so... After all that happened, once again, the only one left alive. Well, I don't know if alive is the right word. I did get my head cut off by the curse, after all. To be honest, I don't have it in me to care anymore. Couldn't fulfill what I set out to do, despite swearing I'd see it through. Nothing left. Seems my fate is in the hands of that pair from Tokyo now. I don't know what they have planned for me, but whatever it is, I intend to accept it. See, bad ending. Thank you, everyone, for everything. Goodbye. I guess there wasn't like a cliffhanger. It was just a bad ending. But it did unlock this. This is very early on. Approximately 1 month ago, having only just returned home to Kamishima, Yuzumi Noguchi goes to the roof of the Kantekisha ruins for some time alone, only to find Sato Shiranami there. And they all live sadly ever after. So this is back in July. Hi, Sato. Good to see you. Huh? Is someone already here? How unusual. Oh, you scared me. Darn, I didn't think anyone else would come here. Oh, I take it I'm not welcome? I didn't think there would be anyone else up here either, so that makes 2 of us. So, who are you? I'm Yuzumi Noguchi, recently moved back to Kamishima. So you're that old friend of Tsukasa's, was it? Yep, I don't think we've spoken before. You're Sato Shiranami, right? Mr. Wakamura's relative, nice to meet you. Wait, how do you know who I am? That's kind of creepy. You're pretty much the talk of the town. I'm sure almost everyone here knows who you are. Is that so? I'd rather not stand out. It's a small island. Word spreads quick about who comes and goes. Sorry, but could you leave me be? I don't feel like talking to anyone. I see. Well, I just came here to enjoy the view alone. I'll just be over there looking at the sea, so I won't be a bother. That work for you? Fine. Oh, this is back when Sato was very closed off. Surroundings. You see all the way from Ise Bay out there to Enshu Island from here. It's a great view. But that doesn't mean I want to share it with anyone. Thankfully, most of the islanders don't come up here that often, so sometimes I come here to unwind. I can hear you talking, you know! There are lots of reefs in the area, and the tide is strong, so it makes for a tough sailing. But from here, it looks as tranquil as can be. Sato Shiranami. I hear she's a relative of Mr. Wakamura's, who will be staying with him for a while, but apparently no one's heard of her, so the island rumor mill's been working overtime since she arrived. Things have calmed down a bit now when she first showed up. She knew so little about how things worked that the gossip was that she was some sort of sheltered princess. That or she'd been raised by animals. Even now she spends most of her time cooped up at the Wakamura, so the mystery's only grown. Guess it doesn't really matter, though. You can see all the way across the Yatsumi Peninsula to Aichi from here. I heard this observation post was originally made to oversee Idago on the opposite shore, so I guess it makes sense that it would be built somewhere with a clear view of the area. They built a rest spot for any tourist who comes up here, but it doesn't seem much use. Any birds? No birds. No birds. If she really is a relative of Mr. Wakamura's, I wonder what she's doing here. She's 17, just like Takasa, but it doesn't seem like she goes to school. I guess it doesn't really matter, though. Now that I have a better look at her, she's really tall, maybe even taller than Azami, and he's 173 centimeters. She said she doesn't want to stand out, but that's gonna be tough at that height. I'd rather not stand that close to her, to be honest. Come on, she's tall. And that's fine. She's been staring at the southern sea this whole time. Could it be she sees something out there? I said it wouldn't bother her, I should stop staring already. Ugh. Coming here always helps me clear my head. She smells like fish. She smells like seawater. Now then, she's been pickling for 400 years. Now then, I'm back here after quitting work after just 3 months. Went to a boarding school on the mainland for high school, so it's been about 3.5 years since I actually lived on Kamishima. Nothing's changed. It's almost as if time itself has stopped here. You could say that's one of the good things about living on an isolated island like this. For me, that means it's just as uncomfortable as ever. Ever since the disaster 5 years ago, people here haven't exactly been subtle about avoiding me. Maybe it's as good as the time as any to seriously start looking into my mom. The processing plant I worked at wasn't a bad place or anything, but working there didn't feel that fulfilling either. Just happened to come across it when I was looking for a job. Never really been sure what I wanted to do with my life. Azami's always had a clear goal of becoming a fisherman. To be honest, I've felt a bit jealous of that. After losing my parents in the disaster 5 years ago, people not only began to avoid me, they avoided talking about my mom as well. At some point, I honestly began to wonder if there was much point in me being alive. I've only made it this far because of my gran and Azami. I could never forgive myself if I made the two of them sad. They're the only reason I'm still here drifting through life. Not that there's much else I can do here. I've got to find some work here soon so they won't worry about me. I've always been good at swimming, so I've actually been thinking about ama diving as an option. I haven't gone swimming since the disaster, but I wonder if Gran would be happy if I followed in her footsteps and became an ama diver. Maybe I'll start looking into it in secret. Though I'd only be able to do it during the diving season, so I'd still have to find something else. I originally came back here to take care of Gran after her injury, but her condition has improved a lot recently. She can walk around by herself now and has even been handling the cleaning and laundry. I wouldn't be surprised if she said she was planning to go back to diving. Kamishima women sure are made of sterner stuff. But I'm still worried about her. You never know what could happen after all. It seems she's been watching a lot of TV recently, perhaps because she's had to spend a lot of time at home. She seems a bit bummed that she doesn't have anyone to talk to about her shows, though. Hey, you could talk to Sato over here. Zami was really happy to hear I was coming back to Kamishima. He even helped me make sure my return would go as smooth as possible. Can't think of him enough. He's a true friend. On top of that, he's hardworking and kind. It's easy to see why so many people here like him. But he's involved in a bunch of stuff around the island now. He's so much busier than he used to be. Goes without saying, we can't mess around like we used to anymore. Tsukasa's also put some distance between herself and us since she started high school. Guess she's a bit self-conscious about things now? I miss hanging out with her, but maybe this is just part of growing up. Still, there's no exaggeration to say that it's all thanks to Asami that I'm able to live here like this. I won't do anything to let him down. Right then. Time to think of how to make my own way through life from now on. Sure, I have plenty of time, but I don't want to be a burden for any longer than I have to be. On the contrary, there's some way for me to make a... If there's some way for me to make a graceful exit and draw the curtain on it all, maybe that would be for the best. Same thought's been lurking in my mind ever since that day. What's the point in living if I'm just gonna cause trouble for Gran and Azami? Time to think of how to make my own way through life from now on. Whoa. Made you jump, didn't I? You did. Of course you did! Anyone would be startled by someone sneaking up on them like that. At least you admit it. You can consider that payback for before. Anyway, did you need something? Oh, right. I can't focus with someone else around here after all, so I want you to leave. She's so funny. Alright, you leave. Let's make them mad at each other. No, you're the one who should leave. It's fate, an immutable law of the universe that was decided tens of thousands of years ago. Oh, really? I was here first, though. Isn't first come, first served also an immutable law of the universe? Okay, that's true. Fine, I'll leave. You caved a lot faster than I expected. Still, I feel kind of bad for chasing you off like this. So you can have this Kameshimaru keychain I picked up over there as well. Pushing random stuff you picked up off the ground on others, huh? Still, who could have thrown such a who could have thrown such a cute keychain away? Now, you didn't do anything wrong, but since you're offering... Hey, yo. I'll be on my way as promised then. Sorry for the interruption. Sure. Huh? Huh? I see, so that's how it is. Huh. Something wrong? Oh no, I was just thinking it must be pretty rough. Yep, pretty rough, alright. It's none of my business, though. Bye! I guess she can tell. And she just forgot. Maybe she just has memory problems. Maybe she just has, like, short-term memory loss. She's bad at remembering things. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How am I supposed to just walk away after you say cryptic stuff like that? But if no answers are forthcoming, I'll simply have to be on my way. Later. She's just a ditz. Alright, so now we've got nothing left now except this one. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit because we've seen all this. Alright, we're back. We've seen that before. I think we've talked to him before. We've also talked to him before. There's the keychain. Yeah, I really can't really do anything except talk to her. Yukiko is looking at us suspiciously. But I guess that's to be expected. We surprised her alone, after all. We surprised her here alone, after all. Now, what's this all about? If you just want to talk, you can wait until after I'm done fishing. Right, this is where it all begins. This is my chance to find a way to change the future. But I don't have any evidence, and I doubt I can just talk Yukiko out of this. You don't do something like that on a whim. Oh yeah, we did read this. Oops. Yeah. So, Kiko, when you left the island, you did some kind of office work, right? Huh? That's true and all, but why are you asking? I was just wondering if you might have preferred your life back then. I mean, you must have had more opportunities to meet people and go out on dates and all that. Stop right there. As if I don't hear enough of that as it is. What's it got to do with you anyway? Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I was just wondering if you still kept in contact with anyone. Sure, a few people. Just a few. Would you say any of them had a big influence on you? Huh? Well, seriously, what's this all about? Nothing. Just curious. Listen, working for that company wasn't exactly a huge break in my career. All I did was poor teen answer the phone. Huh. So, you were really off diving. You sure you should be doing that? If Chia finds out, she'll give you an earful, no doubt about it. Don't I know it. Seems everyone thinks I'd bring this island bad luck just by being here. Yuza. I'm sure some folks might say that, but it's not as if you've done anything to deserve that kind of talk. I don't see a problem with you becoming an Ama diver myself. I appreciate that. Just today, plenty of folks told me not to go diving because a storm's on the way. When they don't talk sense, I just ignore them. So should you. So I've been wondering, you unhappy here on this island, Kikiko? What makes you think that? I don't know, I just get the feeling you're not planning to stay here as an armor diver forever. You normally play the fool, but it turns out you're pretty sharp, Yuza. Truth is, I can't help thinking of the future. You can earn a decent living as an armor diver if you know what you're doing, but all these old rules and customs tend to get in the way. I've been trying to change them here and there, but it's no good. Everyone's too stubborn to listen. See, no luck then, huh? Mark my word, nothing's ever gonna change around here. Just between you and me. As much as I love being surrounded by nature on this island, the culture here just isn't for me.
So that's how you feel?
Honestly, not ready to break ties with this place. Not that anyone else needs to know that. Don't go spreading it around now. Frankly, I had no idea you were so interested in diving, Yuza. Alright, hand mirrors. You've been passing Kameshimaru hand mirrors around to everyone, right? Yeah, I have. Sounds like someone else keeps their ear on the ground. So how many have you given out? Who's got one already? I don't know, I haven't kept track or anything. But if I had to guess, I'd reckon it'd be about 20 or so. Why, though? You want one too? If so, I'll get one to you later. No thanks, don't worry about it. What suspicious way to ask about it. Sit yourself, they're pretty sweet little items, if I do say so myself. Anyway, Yuza, did you really come out here all this way just to chat? Something like that, but I wasted enough of your time. Thanks for hearing me out. Come on, Azami, let's go. Sure. See you later, Kikuko. You made her super sus, Yuza. Right, I know we just got back, but there's no time to waste, so we've got to track down and collect all the Kameshimaru mirrors Kikuko handed out as soon as possible. Why? I'm right, those mirrors are actually the targets of the curse.
No way, seriously?
Still, man, all this curse business is a bit much. Look, given what people think of me, I'd have a hard time handling this on my own. I'm gonna need your help, Azami. Guess I'll have to try and convince everyone the mirrors are defective or something, but we'd better not let Kikuko find out what we're up to.
Yuza, I want to believe you, and I'd like nothing more than to help you out. But before I lift a finger, there's something I gotta know.
Alright.
See, I've got a pretty good idea what made you change out of the blue like this.
You do?
When you were diving before and you came face to face with the Tomokazuki, something happened, didn't it?
You haven't been the same since then. Come to think of it, does this have anything to do with your search for a mermaid? You're right. I should have told you the full story to begin with. I've been in such a rush, I got ahead of myself. You're right, something did happen to me, and I'll tell you all about it right now if you want to hear.
I'm all ears.
First of all, tracking down a mermaid is still my end goal. That hasn't changed.
Something's still the same.
But what I'm trying to do right now is started when I found out about the danger Kamishima is in, and realized I had to do something to prevent it. Are you with me so far?
Sure, if I knew the island was in danger, I'd want to protect it too. But how did you find out about that anyway? Yeah, earlier you said you saw the future. When did that happen?
It was when I encountered the Tomokazuki. The moment our hands touched, everything went dark, and then the future unfolded before me.
So it was like a vision from the Tomokazuki, a warning?
Exactly what it felt like. A stream of images filled my mind all at once, together with a rush of understanding. It's like they were imprinted in my memory. I don't know how it works.
Hold on a second, I poured myself some water.
But I believe what I saw. I know what's going to happen here on Kamishima if I don't do something to change it.
Well, that's what started all this, huh?
Use it. Did you know there was a Tomokazuki there? Is that why you picked that spot to dive? No, it's like I told you. I was hoping to find a clue there, since that's the spot where I encountered a mermaid once before. I never would have dreamed I'd end up seeing a vision of a tragedy like that. For all I know, this might have nothing to do with mermaids at all. But now that I know about it, I can't just forget it, can I?
Of course not. And now that I know the full truth, you can count on my help too. So seeing as Kikuko is the culprit, I'm guessing we need to collect those hand mirrors to save everyone.
Yeah, but she's not the only threat. There's more to this. More? There are actually 2 calamities on the horizon for Kamishima today.
2? You've got to be kidding me.
First is the massacre caused by Kikuko's curse. And the second is the curse of the raging waves, which has been brewing up a violent storm for the last 400 years. It's gonna hit the island tonight.
Huh? Now you lost me again. Can't keep up. For starters, why is this all happening on the same day?
I don't know, I get the feeling it's just an unfortunate coincidence. And there would have been nothing we could do about it either, but since I've been forewarned, I have a chance to prevent it. I'll explain the rest on the way. There's no time to lose. We have to track down every one of those mirrors. Oh. Oh. There's a split. Why there be split? Why the split? Also, the hell? The hell is this? Why is this here? Why is there clear glass? What? What? Huh? Alright, let's see this one first. After arriving on Kamishima, Avi and Cersei continue to ask about mermaids, but this garners suspicion and they find themselves unable to gain any information. Very foggy clocks they have in this town.
Well, so much for that. Even after everything we went through, we've got nothing to show for it. It's almost astounding how little we've managed to learn, like some reverse miracle.
Worse, I think rumors spread. Now everyone is avoiding us.
This is a pickle. I can't even bring up mermaids without the islanders looking at me like some odd foreigner who lost his marbles. And for some reason, mentioning Mari Mirakuchi makes things even worse. Did people hate her or something? Just hearing her name makes them recoil with undisguised disgust.
Yes, I noticed that too. Though your way of asking probably doesn't help much. Well, how about we take a break from investigating and go for a little sightseeing instead? It seems like there's a shrine and a lighthouse around here, so we might as well stop by.
Count me in. To be honest, the way people are treating us has started to bum me out. Maybe heading to the lighthouse to unwind a bit wouldn't be such a bad idea. No, we must go to the jetty and that's that.
Don't scare me like that. What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
The waves of my yearning soul keep crashing against my chest, insisting I seek out the shore.
Right, sure. Usual then.
Well then, off we go.
The jetty, town clock. It's a very foggy clock.
No, looks like we've got ourselves a spunky young lady here. Maybe we should have a word with her. Alright, this could be our last chance. Let's give it our all.
Excuse me, could we speak to you for a moment?
Seriously, no, there's no way she'll want to talk to us if we're that forward.
Foreign visitors! How unusual. And your names are Avi and Cersei. Welcome to Kamishima. My name is Kikuko. I'm an armor diver.
Kikuko the armor diver. Such a pleasure to meet a charming young lady in a place like this.
Charming young lady, you say? Oh my. Well, now you're allowed to ask me anything you like. Scroll. Items. Mr.
Ikuma's business card. I figure I might be able to use it later, so I held on to it. Who would have thought? Seems like just bluntly calling out to her was the best approach after all. The image of a polite and reserved Japan I've been holding on to for so long is starting to filter.
She's the most approachable of all the people we've talked to so far. Maybe this time we'll actually learn something.
It's a bit sad to be this happy just because someone finally agreed to talk to us.
I wonder who's to blame for that.
What? You're saying it's my fault?
This jetty was built to break the waves, so fishing boats can come in and safely unload their catch.
Then I suppose jet planes have nothing to do with it.
No, not at all. A structure over in the distance is called a breakwater, built to keep the waves out. Seems like it's a popular fishing spot.
looks like we made a solid first impression. She seemed genuinely excited to talk to us. After all the lengths we went to, I refuse to leave this place without at least a few answers.
Any birds? Any birds? No birds. Not seeing any birds. No birds. Alright. Breakwater much more appreciated than breakwind. You know what else is better than breakwind? Windbreakers. Alright. Let's talk about Mirumirumirumo first.
Alright, actually, there's someone we're looking for on this island. Would you mind if we asked you about them?
Sure, who is it?
Woman named Mirumirumirumo. See, that's exactly how everyone else around here has been reacting when we ask about her.
No, it's just... I'm sorry, but that woman died in an accident at sea 5 years ago?
Oh yes, we are well aware that she has passed away.
Huh? Then why do you ask?
Did she leave anything behind? Or was there perhaps someone who was close to her or anything like that?
Sorry, I got no idea. Nobody on this island really knew her. Although her son just recently returned to the island.
Her son, you say? Now it's getting interesting. We'd certainly like to meet him. Do you know where he is?
Sorry, no idea, but he's gotta be somewhere around the island. His name is Yuza Minakuchi. I'll give you his home address. You might find him there.
Oh, thank you. This is invaluable information.
I wonder if they ended up talking to Tsuyu, and that's why she was suddenly decided to be forthcoming. His name is Yuza Minakuchi. I'll give you his home address. You might find him there.
So you're an active armor diver then? Are there many young divers these days?
Not really. The younger generation doesn't really go for diving anymore. Just makes more sense to pursue higher education.
I see. It's a real shame for such a long-standing tradition slowly fading away. To see such a long-standing tradition slowly fade away.
Well, it is quite dangerous after all. Can't really blame them for choosing safer options. Just the other day, I heard 2 armor divers went missing around Toba.
Oh!
Says the guy who knows why they went missing. Speaking of armor divers... Huh? I heard armor divers have a legend that if you go diving around here, there's a chance a Tomokazuki might emerge from the depths.
Ah, Sissy, enough with the ghost stories.
You sure know a lot, don't ya? You're right, it's a well-known legend. Not that I've seen it with my own eyes or anything. Don't know anyone who has either. Huh. Maybe your Seimin and Doman symbols have kept you safe? Oh, I don't have any. I don't really go in for superstition like that. I'm really okay without them. I think it's no more than an old tradition, meant to remind us not to forget our gratitude and respect toward the sea. All those old traditions and rules, old-fashioned rules and traditions. Don't you think it's about time for reform? But isn't free diving close to Shinto ritual and spirit? Isn't showing reverence and offerings to the sea god crucial? Oh, you're pretty devout for a foreigner. I'm impressed. But, you know, I believe it's exactly because of tedious customs like that. Like that one that young people are losing interest in diving. We should keep up with the times, otherwise there's no way this tradition will survive.
Oh no, that's very level-headed thinking.
Maybe it's because I'm part of the so-called new generation. Some people don't like my attitude, but I got the job done. Some of the younger divers go to high school on the mainland, then work as AMA divers and then return home. I guess there's also that guy who just started working as an AMA here. I saw him earlier.
I didn't realize men could become AMA divers too.
It's not like it's forbidden. It is pretty rare though. This is the first time I've ever seen it happen. He's actually Mirumirumirumo's son, the woman you were asking about earlier.
Interesting. This may be a bit out of nowhere, but you don't happen to know anything about mermaids, do you?
Mermaids?
Oh, so you do know something.
When you say mermaids, you mean mermaids, right? The mythical creatures?
Precisely the very same. Rumor has it that this island houses some kind of secret connection to the mermaids. but I haven't been able to ascertain whether it's true or not. So tell me, any mermaid secrets about?
Are you really saying you came all the way out here to look for mermaids?
More or less, so any information you may have would be a huge help.
Sorry, I don't really have anything for you, but I do happen to be a little interested in mermaids myself.
Fantastic, another fan entranced by the mysterious.
They say that eating the flesh of a mermaid will grant you immortality, right?
That's right. Could you perhaps be interested in immortality as well?
Guess so. Not for myself, though.
Oh?
So you mentioned this island has some sort of connection to mermaids.
More than just a little interested, are you?
Hi, Fire. How's it going? Hope you're having a good one.
Well, in fact, right here in Ise Bay, there used to be...
Huh, so the mermaids used to live on this Tashima place? So I think there may still be some clues here in Kamishima that'll lead you to the mermaids in Ryugu. Happy to hear that it's going good.
Nail on the head and right on the button.
I'm doing pretty okay. The hottest mer. No, Fireflint is rocks. Unfortunately, can't say that I've heard any mermaid stories on this island before.
A pity. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know why everyone is frantically dodging our questions about Mare Minakuchi, would you? Was she such a terrible person?
It's something people don't really talk about. She didn't fit in much with the other islanders. No one knew much about her either. Why are you so interested in her anyway?
This was kind of a secret, but it seems that Mare Minakuchi had some sort of connection to the mermaids.
Oh, you don't say. I see, so that's why.
Oh, you remember something?
Not really, it's just that I always thought she was a little off. Almost as though she wasn't actually human. No, she was just a little bit awkward. It's fine.
So you're saying Mario might not have been human after all? That she was actually a mermaid?
No, no way, I was just joking. She was kind of weird for sure. But a mermaid? That's a bit far-fetched, don't you think?
Right. Why did I feel the sudden urge to go to the jetty earlier? Thanks to that, we ended up running into Kikuko.
She's the most... Okay, we already talked about that.
Tamate Bako's sacred treasure of the mermaids. I haven't had the courage to open it yet. The curse stone bearing the curse of the forsaken fish. Should I really be carrying this around? Come to think of it, I completely forgot about the steel-tied mirror that Ikuma told us to look for. Guess I'll try my luck and ask. Oh, right, I just remembered. There is a particular mirror on this island that we're looking for. Do you happen to know anything about that?
A mirror, you say? Well, you've come to the right woman.
Oh, you know it. Luck's finally on our side.
Could it be you're talking about this? Ta-da!
Goodness, that's the cutest mirror I've ever seen.
This is the famous Kamishima souvenir, the Kameshimaru hand mirror. I had no idea it'd become so famous.
No way, could this be the steel-tied mirror?
Definitely not.
Right.
This isn't the one you're after? Oh well, you seem to have taken a liking to it. I'd still love to let you have it. Consider it a memento for our meeting today.
Really, lucky me. Well, actually, I changed my mind. I don't need it after all.
You sure it's free, you know?
Why would you put it like that?
You know what? Let's take it. Of course, here you go. You take one too, Cersei.
Fantastic, you can't beat free.
Thank you.
Anyway, what we're looking for is actually a bronze mirror.
A bronze mirror? You mean the type you'd see in history books?
Yeah, probably, something like that.
No, I can't say I know anything about that. So, in Japanese mythology, not mythology, legend. So they mentioned... No, it's not profiles, it's under files. So it mentioned here. Yes, Kusanagi no Tsurugi, one of the 3 imperial regalia of Japan. The other 2 are the Yata Mirror and the, what was the gem called? There is a gem. We have a mirror. There is a mirror in this game, but so far nobody's described any gems.
Shame.
Never heard of anything about a bronze mirror on this island. Oh, that reminds me. Got a glimpse of something inside your bag earlier. Was that by chance the tomate bako?
What?
Sorry, just happened to notice. And judging by your reaction, I'd say I'm right.
Damn it, I didn't think it'd be that noticeable.
A glimpse alone shouldn't have given it away that it was the tomate bako. My initial guess was just a bluff, but obvious reaction confirmed it. Gem quality flint. Cersei's like, why would you do this? How could you have done this?
Susie, I'm sorry. Kikuko, why the interest in the tomate bako?
Well, some kind of ancient mermaid treasure, right?
Well, you're well informed.
Would you be willing to hand it over to me? I'll make sure it's worth your while.
Huh.
You see, I know someone who's ridiculously rich and in search of eternal life. They'd be willing to pay a small fortune for that thing. Well, for the kind of money you probably only get to see once in a lifetime, so what do you say?
Whoa, slow down.
Avi. Much more than some third-rate writer like yourself could earn in a lifetime. You know what you could possibly need the tomate bako for anyway? Wouldn't you like to move up in the world? I believe I
understand your offer, Kikuko. But my answer is no, not a chance, no way, no how. It's never been about money, it's about the thrill of the adventure.
Adventure?
Exactly! Embarking on a journey to unravel the secret of the mermaid's immortality. What better adventure could a man ask for? You may call me a romantic, and that's what I am, an adventurer at heart.
You totally lost me. You're throwing this chance away for some childish adventure?
You wouldn't understand. I put my life on the line to find a mermaid. I'm not handing the box over.
See? Seems like there's no reason with you. Then this conversation's over. It's a shame, but I gave you a chance.
No, don't get me wrong. I'd still love to ask you some more things. Because...
Of course, Echo. No! Damn it! Oh, I guess they're dead.
Hurts so much for talking.
He's still talking when he's dying. He's still quipping as he's dying.
Arnav Barnum is dead.
Oh my, seems you've met with a rather unpleasant fate. This is merely a conjecture on my part. He's given Happy Mask Salesman right now.
Things seem to be going quite smoothly right up until Kikuko's true nature was exposed. The only one who can stop Kikuko from committing those murders is Mr. Barnum, after all. However, it appears you were holding on to something that gave her the upper hand. I recommend you would dispose of that item before incurring her wrath. Do not fret, you may start anew from the moment the standoff began.
Can I throw it away during the conversation?
The hand mirror we received from Kikuko. Apparently this little turtle fellow is called Kameshimaru.
Let's just toss it.
Sissy, pass me the hand mirror you received earlier.
Oh, sure.
Take that, and some of this!
So much easier if you had it.
Huh?
Why'd you suddenly throw away the mirror? This would have been so much easier.
No, the mirror. I don't know. I just felt like the right thing to do. Why do you ask?
I think it's not going as planned.
Not sure what's going on, but I feel like we might have just narrowly escaped danger. Sounds like we had that mirror. If we had that mirror on us, she would have been able to seal the tomate bako. Seems like some more. I'd like to get some more information out of her, but it seems as though she's plotting something. So why don't you enlighten us? Who told you about the Tamate Bako?
Who knows? Think you'll get it out of me with that attitude?
She still hasn't given up on the Tamate Bako.
Let's grab a proper screenshot of her with this anger face. Does she blink? She does blink.
So why don't you enlighten us? Who told you about the Tamate Bako? Right.
Seen these before.
I've got a bad feeling about the way she's looking at us now.
What about if we show her this? Why would I throw that away?
There's no doubt about it, Kikuko wants to take the Tamate Bako from us. But even so, the Tamate Bako won't grant immortality without the flesh of a mermaid. If she has any other information about mermaids, we need it.
Avi, focus. I need you to listen to me, but without taking your eyes off Kikuko.
Oh, got it.
Pretty sure she has a cursed stone.
What?
Oh, what's all this about? I couldn't tell right away, because it was masked by the heavy veil of cursed energy that's all over the island, but on closer inspection, the cursed stone's aura is impossible to conceal. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
What if the condition to activate her curse was holding onto one of those mirrors? Then we can relax, right? The condition isn't met.
Only if the mirror is all there was to it. As long as we don't know for sure, we should remain on high alert.
Hey, Kikuko, I'm gonna let you in on a secret.
Yeah?
Ta-da! What are the odds? Turns out we both got curse stones. This one's called Curse of the Forsaken Fish. When its conditions are met, it transforms you into a fish and kills you. It's pretty messed up, huh?
What? Avi, are you sure?
You were planning to use the cursed stone on us to steal the Tamate Bako, weren't you? But your cursed stone requires us to have one of those Hana mirrors, am I right? On the other hand, I can use my curse on you whenever I so please.
You're bluffing. Your cursed stone must have a condition too.
Yeah, I was to say it hasn't already been met. Now cease your scheming and tell us what you know.
You really have the resolve to kill someone with a curse?
I already have. Well, I'm not exactly keen on it, but I am prepared to defend my life if necessary.
Really, wasn't expecting that from such a gentleman. You look like you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Indeed, my heart is pure, but trust me, I'm quite capable. Experience has hardened my resolve.
You're saying you've actually used it before?
At this point, what difference does one more death to the tally make? My hands are already stained.
Damn, so you're a proper criminal. Maybe I should report you to the cops.
Be my guest, I wonder which is faster, my curse or your phone call.
What about your lady friend? Well, are you okay with this? I'm afraid there's no restraining Avi. I've pretty much given up on him at this point. So it would be great if you could just give up and hand over the cursed stone. The fuck is this? You guys are absolutely insane.
Oh, come on now. I think we'd agree that we both have our issues. But we're at a stalemate. Now I can try to extract some more information out of her. Good job, Cersei, making her believe I've lost it. Very convincing. Maybe a little too convincing. Does she really think I'm that crazy? Whatever. I've got more important things to focus on now.
I think she really thinks you're a little bit crazy.
So, what kind of curse do you possess?
Dunno. Don't care.
Oh, come now. Not even a hint.
Me, on the other hand, I've laid pretty much all of our cards on the table already.
Now, what are you talking about? Who would do such a reckless thing? Alright, seems like you're just as dead set on the Tamate Bako as I am. This standoff won't get us anywhere. Why don't you tell us your motivation? Maybe we'll be able to find a compromise.
Compromise?
Say, for example, if granting your wish were to stir the spirit of adventure within me. I cannot hand over the Tamate Bako, but perhaps I'd be willing to let you borrow its power of immortality.
I got no romantic tale for you. I told you, I just want to get that rich person what he's looking for so he can see how important I am to him. That's all there is to it.
How important you say? How was that?
Because I'm his illegitimate child.
Oof.
But he simply refuses to admit it. Whatever I do, he won't even acknowledge my existence. That means you're half siblings with Tsukasa, maybe? I mean, just look at me. I must be a disgrace in his eyes. But a woman like me shouldn't be wasting her life away on some backwater island. It's gonna turn out that he's like... that, like, everyone on this island is an illegitimate child. I was born of noble blood. I wasn't meant to rot in this miserable place. And he casts me aside and refuses to even acknowledge my existence. It's humiliating!
Your father's some rich man.
Yeah. There's hardly anyone in Isashima who doesn't know the name Yoshiatsu Yamashina. It's a noble bloodline stretching back centuries, and here I am stuck in this wretched life.
Yamashina, eh?
Everything in my power to earn his recognition. Give it my all to make it in the big city, and for what? Nothing I tried worked out. In the end, I had to come crawling back to this island trying to make ends meet as an armor diver. But I still kept telling myself that someday, somehow...
I see, so you figured that since Yamashina is seeking immortality, you could leverage the box to get what you want at the same time.
Yeah. I used to work at this small company. And the CEO of this place is basically Yamashina's protege. Because he felt sorry for me, so he let it slip that Yamashina was after immortality.
Interesting. And was he the one who told you about the cursed stone and the Tamate Bako as well?
Yeah. Since Yamashina doesn't know about this, he suggested I use it to my advantage and take credit. He gave me the cursed stone and told me to use it wisely. Originally, I had planned on offering something different to Yamashina. Now I think I've got a chance for the Tamate Bako. That's my best option.
Oh, how intriguing.
What fell? Oh. That up later.
So you wanted to trade the Tamate Bako for Yamashina's recognition?
That's right, see? I knew we were never gonna find a compromise.
True, a compelling story, but it's missing a certain adventurous allure.
That company president you mentioned, how come he knew about the Tamate Bako and the cursed stone? Just a clue exactly, is he?
I was wondering the same thing.
Of course you were. He's an incredible person after all. The dude we have the business card of, right? Yeah, Ikuma. Mr. Kippe Ikuma is an amazing man. Thanks to him, I got a chance to make my dream come true. Oh!
Did you say Ikuma? Kippe Ikuma, you say, from Sala Planning?
How you know, Mr. Ikuma?
Indeed, I just met him the other day. In fact, I even got his business card.
You have Mr. Ikuma's business card? Wait then, that business card you took out earlier was his?
That's right, want to see it?
That's fine, you hold on to that.
If you say so.
Huh? What? A xaco?
Yikes! Did we mess up?
Blackus Asteri, guide his path. Guide his path, and with thy merciful hand protect him. Why? You have Mr. Ikuma's business card. The conditions should have been met, so why?
Yikes, I thought it was done for.
You were. Sorry, all I can do is delay the curse. How to spell it? It's gonna take effect in about 1 minute. You need to do something before then.
Like what?
The curse is spelled by eliminating its caster. What comes next is up to you.
But eliminate? Why do I have to keep doing this?
Shove her into the ocean. Let's do it!
Damn it, I refuse to die here!
Does it change if I throw away the business card? What the? What's with you?
She fell into the water. It's now or never! Ah!
We don't get to see fish. Fish, Kikuko? I retrieved the cursed stone from the ocean. Are we alright, Avi?
Well, I barely made it out alive, but I can't say I feel particularly good about it. So did it come to this? No turning back now, it seems.
This is what happens when you deal with curses. It might turn back on you at any moment. Should be prepared for that.
Understood. So what about the cursed stone? What's it like?
Yeah, about that.
A bronze mirror?
That's right, a palm-sized bronze hand mirror.
Wait, don't tell me the still-tied mirror was actually a cursed stone all along.
The cursed stone's resentful memory doesn't seem to indicate anything like that.
So this cursed stone had a resentful memory too, eh? What did you learn?
Oh, so much information, it's hard to make sense of it. You take a look for yourself.
Don't just toss it like that. It's a cursed stone, not a baseball.
So you're not gonna look?
Of course I am.
Alright, let's see what we find out.
Let's see. Oh, so this is the real deal. Oh, mermaid, there's a mermaid on it.
Alright, biography of Tomoshige. Oh god, this is long. Alright, let's do it. Taira 1. Taira no Tomoshige's early life. Taira no Tomoshige was born as the son of Taira no Kiyomori's younger brother, Yorimori. In the latter half of the Heian period, at the height of the Taira clan's power, although his father Yorimori was the only child born of the official wife of Taira no Tadamori, part of the main lineage of the Taira clan, he maintained a deferential attitude towards Kiyomori, a stance that made Tomoshige regard him with contempt and fueled his ambition to one day stand at the head of the Taira clan. He also believed himself to be the rightful heir to Nukemaru, a famous sword that his father had inherited as part of his birthright. 2. The Sato, the girl from Kusawa village. At around the same time, Sato was living a simple life in Kusawa village at the place of her birth. Finally, Sato backstory. One day she happened to encounter a visiting onmyoji and was offered the chance to work at the Bureau of Onmyo in Kyoto. Sato readily accepted, having always felt out of place in the village due to her faint spirit sense, and left Kusawa to work in the Bureau of Onmyo as a maidservant. At the end of a certain year, Taira no Kiyomori's daughter Noriko gave birth to the imperial prince. Although Tomoshige visited the palace with his father to celebrate the birth, he soon grew bored with the proceedings and left, only to encounter Sato, who was attending to odd jobs nearby. Tomoshige was intrigued by Sato, who made no attempts to curry favor with him and whose thoughts he found difficult to read, and he frequently visited her from then on. Not yet having an official wife, is not uncommon for Tomoshige to spend his time on dalliances with women, with Sato being the latest among them. However, as their interactions continued, he found himself becoming particularly drawn to her. He eventually had a pair of bronze hand mirrors made and gifted one to her, telling her to carry it with her at all times as a sign of their vow to each other. Her ex? It's Sato's ex? The fall of the Taira clan. In 1185, the Taira clan was defeated at the Battle of Dan Noura, spelling its ruin. Tomoshige, who had fled from place to place as if desperate to avert his eyes from the Taira clan's decline, ultimately did not participate in the decisive battle at Dan Noura, and came to know of the Taira clan's downfall while he was laying low in a remote village in Ise with Sato. Though initially terrified of being hunted down by soldiers of the Minamoto clan, Tomoshige regained his senses upon seeing Sato's unbroken composure. Now believing that it lay with him to restore the Taira clan as one of its sole survivors, he swore an oath to his fallen clan that he would see it rise again one day. With survivors of the Taira clan being hunted down across the country, Tomoshige continued to search for a way to turn the situation to his advantage. In the process, he suddenly remembered a box that his grandfather Tadamori had left the family, a tamatebako preferred by fishermen that was said to contain the flesh of a mermaid. Although Tadamori had refused to accept it, a member of the clan had secretly hidden it in a storehouse back in their homeland. It was said that eating mermaid flesh would grant eternal life to whoever ate it. However, a legend also had it that the meat was highly poisonous, with even a small bite being fatal. No one wanted to eat it as a result, and it ended up being forgotten as the years went by. Believing that dying due to poison would hardly be any different from their fate if they were caught and killed, Tomoshige located the tamatebako and pried open the lid. However, all that was inside was a dried sliver of meat so shriveled as to resemble a piece of wood. Dubious, Tomoshige pushed the misgivings aside and ate the meat, but felt no different than before. Believing the long years had robbed the meat of its power and seeing the tamatebako as his only clue to find a mermaid, he boarded a small boat with Sato and set out to sea. Believing that the mermaid would surely come to reclaim the tamatebako, if it was truly linked to them in some ways, Tomoshige continued to row the small boat to the sea of Ise. At the same time, he was clad from head to toe in the armor of a warrior and had with him the famed sword Nukemaru, an heirloom he had seized from his father Yorimori, whom he had scorned as a disgrace to their clan. Sato, meanwhile, wore only a light kimono. After they'd rowed for a while, a sudden mist descended over the sea around them, obscuring the surroundings. As Tomoshige and Sato looked around fearfully, they heard a small splash. Turning to look, they grasped what they saw as they saw what appeared to be a human hand reaching up from the water before grabbing onto the boat's edge. In a rush of water, a being with human features from the waist up and fish-like features from the waist down emerged from the sea, a mermaid. Climbing into the boat, the mermaid screamed for them to give the box back before suddenly lunging at them. Too stunned to think clearly, Tomoshika drew his sword and slashed at the mermaid. There was a dull sound of a blade piercing through flesh, and the mermaid let out a piercing cry before diving back into the water and fleeing the area. Still trying to process the sudden turn of events, Tomoshika glanced down and caught sight of a small piece of the mermaid's tail, apparently severed by its previous blow, lying in a pool of blood. He picked it up, only to find that it continued to twitch even as he held it. Finding himself too disgusted to try eating it immediately, he decided to stow it in the tamate bako for the present. Eventually, after some hesitations, he forced Sato to eat it despite her protests. They waited a while, but no change seemed to come over her. Thinking that the amount of mermaid flesh simply hadn't been enough, Tomoshika made to pursue the mermaid, but as he did so, he noticed the mist around them had cleared. As the two looked around, they realized that their small boat was surrounded by ships belonging to a band hunting down remnants of the Taira clan. Alarmed, they tried to flee, but their attackers pressed in on them from all sides, were unable to find any means of escape. Amidst the chaos, Sato was struck in the head by an arrow and fell to the sea. Tomoshige, still determined to retaliate, continued to frantically resist with his sword. However, he was vastly outnumbered and unable to break through his attacker's ranks and was ultimately cut down in a single stroke. On the brink of death, Tomoshige's gaze fell on the crests worn by his pursuers. Consumed by bitter regret at his failure to restore his clan, he directed the full brunt of his resentment towards these symbols as he sank beneath the waves, cursing his enemies and clinging to his vindictive hatred until the very end. A curse born from Taira no Tomoshige's feelings of malice and resentment when he was struck down 800 years ago, following the fall of the Taira clan. Part of the clan's main lineage, Tomoshige had been seeking mermaid flesh in a bid to obtain immortality, with the goal of eventually reviving the Taira clan, but was killed before realizing his dream. The curse uses a specific symbol as its target and kills those who carry that symbol within the area specified by the user. By cleaving them in two, its effective range is several hundred meters. Is it hidden in Kameshimaru somehow? Maybe it's this symbol.
So, this is the curse of Taira no Tomoshige that grew over 800 long years.
Taira no Tomoshige? Never heard of him.
He wasn't exactly what you'd call a historically important figure, even within the Heike. Seems that he sought out the mermaid's power of immortality to restore the Heike, but his pursuit ended in failure. That resentment must have dwelled within Tomoshige's bronze mirror, eventually turning it into a cursed stone.
Slightly. Yeah, it's that simple. Alright.
Then the symbol on the hand mirror and the business card were the true cursed target.
That's what it was, if only we'd realized it sooner.
Well, what's done is done. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Kikiko mentioned she got her curse stone from Ikuma, right?
Exactly. To think that slippery snake was sneaky enough to put the curse markers on his own business cards. That Ikuma guy is seriously dangerous. That was way too close.
I think we were cautious, especially since it seems he's after the Tamate Bako too.
Yes, seems like working without him turned out to be the right call.
Although he may grow suspicious if he can't contact Kikiko anymore. Considering he's after the Tamate Bako, there's a chance he might still chase after us.
We need to keep our guard up. I think it's safe to assume he already knows about Miss Sumikawa and the Tamate Bako.
I do wonder why he told us to go look for the still tired mirror too.
Well, it's not this mirror. And we've got no reason to follow his orders either. Anyway, I'd rather try and find out more about the mermaid as soon as possible.
You're right, we didn't learn anything from Kikuko.
Looks like we've got no choice but to continue our investigation of the island, shall we?
Could you hold on for a moment?
Oh, someone's there.
Oh, no, it's these two.
You...
Finally. So okay, I guess this indicates that we know what's happening. Okay, so this is Sato talking with them. And this is these two. Alright, I want to try a couple things. The first one is here. Yeah, it seems that there's more.
Well, I don't see why I should get rid of it.
Can I throw this away now?
Yeah, I'll just sneakily toss it. Alright, I don't think anybody noticed.
Alright. How about you give it to you? Alright.
Oh, never mind. My bad. I must have left it at the end.
Can't believe this.
Tizzy,
What is it?
I figured it out, the condition.
Really, what's it? What is it?
It was hidden on the hand mirror all along. See that symbol over there? I just couldn't shake the feeling I'd seen it before. And sure enough, Ikoma's business card had the same symbol on it.
Oh, you're right.
The mirror is suspicious, and a business card with the same symbol as that suspicious hand mirror is equally suspicious. Simple as that.
So that's why you threw away the card earlier.
Oh, you noticed? Either way, seeing Kikuko's reaction to hearing we had one of his business cards told me everything I needed to know.
She mentioned before that Tsukasa wouldn't be able to escape it, because she had the symbol on her already. Is it related to the mirror, or is there something else? Enough with the whispering already.
The trick is up, young lady. The conditions for your curse is the mysterious symbol inscribed on both the hand mirror and the business card.
It's possible she has the tattoo. Oh, this updated and it didn't really tell us about it. Oh, Tsukasa. She doesn't look like she has anything that looks like it.
You see, there's nothing more to fear, Sissy. Your turn.
Apologies. I'm going to have to be a bit rough. You may experience after effects.
And so, we managed to apprehend Kikuko Tsutsui. Apparently, Circe's binding spell weakens those untrained in the spiritual arts and causes them to fall into a dazed, almost intoxicated state. Before losing consciousness, Kikuko quietly surrendered and handed over the cursed stone. Unfortunately, it appears she really knew nothing more about Mermaid after all. She didn't even have any idea how Ikuma came into possession of a cursed stone either. To ensure she couldn't interfere any further, we restrained her at her home and made sure she would remain asleep for the time being. Much later that night, we learned that Kikuko had planned to massacre the island's residents using the hand mirrors she distributed. By sheer coincidence, our actions had also prevented a mass slaughter, but not the curse of the raging waves. So what about the cursed stone? What's it like?
Yeah, about that. Bronze mirror.
A bronze mirror.
Yeah, I think this is the same as before. Alright. Is there like another? Yeah, there's another. There's more? Current state, Kikuko has been subdued. Alright, well, let's keep it this way, so that Kikuko is still alive, I guess. Maybe it'll be important. Any birds in chat? I found one. This large bridge spanning Onora Bay and Toba City is known as the Onora Bridge. I hear that waters of the bay are rich in nutrients, making them ideal for oyster farming. You can see the rafts used floating in the bay. Oh, oysters! Very nice. Oyster farming, or oyster harvesting, only begins in October though, so I'm afraid they're out of season right now. Oh, darn it all. I knew Ise lobsters were only available from October, but to think well, we won't be able to eat oysters either. Please don't look so sad, ma'am. We can always come again sometime. Onora Bridge. Notable for its distinctive white arch, Onora Bridge is a 196-meter bridge spanning Onora Bay in Toba City, Mie Prefecture. It was built to have no columns, allowing ships to pass underneath it with ease. The contrast of its white arch with the blue sea and sky, and the green of the mountains paints a picturesque scene, making it popular with tourists. The bridge takes its name from its role as a crossing over Onora Bay, but the name is written with a character for hemp, sung of in old Waka poems as a vessel for divine spirits. As such, the kanji characters that make up its name differ slightly from those used to write Onora Bay. After discovering the mermaid found in Futamigara this morning was in fact Somikawa's transfigured corpse, we headed to Ichikatan for further investigation, and we're now on our way back. This feels like as good an opportunity as any to take stock of our current position and talk about our next move. Soto gives off the impression of being all business, but he often goes along with any suggestion I make to stop and take in the scenery. Despite appearances, I think he quite enjoys moments like this. Now then, as much as I'd like to relax and enjoy our surroundings, shall we take this chance to review the current situation and talk about our next move? Sound idea, yes. First, Detective Ide contacted us this morning, informing us that a mermaid corpse had washed up in Futamigura. However, when we went to investigate, we discovered that the corpse was in fact that of Miss Somikawa, whose whereabouts we were looking into, and she'd been transformed into a fish by a curse. Quite the troublesome development. She was shaping up to be a key figure in a number of incidents. With that in mind, the most likely culprits are the two foreigners we ran into the day before yesterday in Ichika. Of course, one of them was seen taking Miss Somikawa out to sea by boat. I regret not doing more to pursue them at the time. It's possible we could have saved her if we had. I'm sorry, that was poor judgment on my part. And then the other half of the pair was a young exorcist with ties to paranormal affairs. I believe her name was Sissy, yes? That's also quite worrying. I wonder what she could be up to. If it turns out she's been using curses on ordinary people, we at Paranormal Affairs would probably be held responsible. Though I doubt the Bureau would agree to act as custodian for someone who would behave so recklessly. I'd like to believe some manner of circumstances are at hand, yes? I suppose if anything happens, I can just get the higher-ups to take responsibility. That's what higher-ups are for, aren't they? Being responsible for their subordinates. I think you'll find that's a saying used by superiors as a goal, not by subordinates to shirk responsibility. Despite her abilities, I doubt that girl would be able to use the Curse of the Forsaken Fish. Regardless of who wielded it, I think it's safe to say that a cursed stone was involved. Agreed. We have two people from the same town falling victim to the same curse after all. I think it's reasonable to assume this was due to an overzealous use of a cursed stone. Yes, the first victim was Tamiko Suma, who succumbed to the curse 2 days ago. The second was Miss Somikawa from yesterday. The state they were found in hasn't been publicly disclosed, so they're still being officially treated as missing. Still, a cursed stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish, huh? Something wrong. Curse of the Forsaken Fish is one of the curses mermaids can use, you see. For it to have become a cursed stone, the mermaid in question must have experienced overwhelming resentment. An example might be if they were killed while bearing a powerful grudge against someone. Sounds like it would be a rare event indeed. Huh? Why do I get the feeling there was a mermaid who died like that, though? Who was it? Feels like the name's on the tip of my tongue. be a memory from that time? I imagine many of your older memories have faded by now. Is she an immortal? She said she wasn't, but I have to try to remember. What was the name of the mermaid who died while harboring strong feelings of resentment? Hayase. That's right, her name was Hayase. Can't believe it. I'd completely forgotten, but it just suddenly popped up in my head. So there was a mermaid who died like that, was there? There was. I finally remember. One of the mermaids who lived near Taishima 400 years ago was called Hayase. She was captured during the invasion of Taishima and died after being brutally tortured. This is the first I've heard of mermaids living near Taishima. Oh right, your ancestor, Harukage Tsuchimikado, must have left the match of his records. The reason Taishima was invaded in the first place was to find those mermaids, you see. I was unaware of the exact reason for the invasion. It's understandable. A deliberate effort was made not to mention mermaids in any of the records left after the fact. I suppose hiding the map inside a mermaid mummy was intended to be a metaphor of sorts. I can't believe I forgot something so important. But if the cursed stone is related to what happened on Taishima 400 years ago, it likely was some link to the curse of the raging waves as well. If we can view the memories contained in it, we might be able to learn more about the curse of the raging waves. I wonder. Could the keepsake Harukage left behind using the map have been the cursed stone housing the curse of the forsaken fish? I see! That's certainly a possibility. In that case, it's not unthinkable someone might have gotten hold of it recently. And there's a high chance it was those two foreigners. Alright, we've narrowed down our focus. It seems a change in priorities is needed. Let's find the cursed stone for the curse of the forsaken fish as soon as possible. That should be the most efficient course of action, I think. Agreed. It's looking increasingly likely that pair of foreigners has the cursed stone. Yeah, we could just go to Ichika to see if we could find any leads on where they could have headed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find anything promising. Wonder where they could have gone. I still don't know why they approached Miss Somikawa. Could they be after the mermaid's relic? If I'm not mistaken, that girl Cersei did mention the relic. Were they looking to take it for themselves? And where would they have headed afterward? Kamishima! That's where they are! What? Kamishima? I thought we decided we weren't going there today. We failed to find any promising leads yesterday after all. No, something's telling me they went to Kamishima, and I get the feeling this is a hunch I shouldn't ignore. Alright, let's head to the port in Tuba City. We'll catch a ferry to Kamishima from there. One curse per mermaid? Possibly? No, one of the curses wasn't a mermaid though, so... Alright, let's chat. Let's have a chitty chat with all of them.
I see. So you would be Mrs. Shiki, and you say you're a member of the police department currently looking after Cersei. My apologies for all the trouble young Cersei caused you the other day. She's quite the mischievous little lady, I'm afraid.
Oh, not at all. She certainly has pluck for one so young. Took us quite by surprise, in fact. You would be Cersei's guardian, then?
No, we're related to be sure, but she's really more my guide from bodyguard, if anything.
I see. Since when was I your bodyguard as well? I'm afraid the circumstances may dictate that we have to take Cersei back to Tokyo with us, though.
Is that so? That would be quite the bother.
Personally, I'd rather avoid having to do so as well. There's a case here that needs our urgent attention, you see. So I'd appreciate it if you cooperated without any fuss.
That would depend on what you ask, I'm afraid.
I'm glad we found these two so quickly. Having Asoto track down the spiritual entity was the right call. Our foremost priority is to find the cursed stone housing the curse of the forsaken fish so we can learn how to lift the curse of the raging waves. And from everything we've learned so far, it's most likely in the possession of these two foreigners. Soto mentioned when we arrived on Kamishima that the energy from the curse of the raging waves has grown much stronger since we were last here. As such, everything else is on the back burner until we've dealt with it. We need to find out how to lift it as soon as possible. Any birds? Any birds in the chat? That's rude. Soda's keeping a close eye on Abby and Cersei for me. Just thinks there was clear understanding of our respective roles. That I can focus fully on the conversation at hand. Soda, what do you make of these two? I can sense an ominous spiritual energy lingering around them. It's all but certainly of cursed stones. I see. We don't have time to play games then. Seems like a direct approach will be best here. Wait, you mean both of them have cursed stones? Yes, both of them. Girl is managing to camouflage the energy from the one she has, but I managed to catch sight of it for a moment. So we're dealing with two cursed stones, are we? The energy from the curse of the raging wave. Okay. Cersei is currently meant to be the heir, in the care of paranormal affairs, but she's been stuck in training to travel around the country instead. She's very talented for one so young and has a lot of guts too. Can't help but root for people like her. More than anything, I know how they feel. I'd like to leave her be if possible. This man, Avi, is apparently a fantasy writer, but he comes across as quite the shifty sort. I don't doubt he'll start trying to throw us off his trail the moment he senses danger. I'll have to watch my step around him. By the way, Sissy, I was told to tell you to return to Tokyo at once if I saw you. What? I don't want to. I thought you'd say that. Well, I was only asked to tell you, no more, no less. What you choose to do with the message is up to you. Thanks, I think. If you want to know what happened, ask Avi. I will, thank you. What were you doing down at the jetty just now?
Oh, so you didn't see anything that happened before that, then?
Would it be inconvenient for you if you had?
Nonsense, my hands are as clean as my conscience, not a spot inside, I assure you.
Never mind that now. We don't have the time. There are several things we want to ask you.
Oh, and what would those be?
I gotta check my phone.
A little bit? Real quick?
Alright, about Somikawa. First, I think we should talk about the incident this morning. No, this was a text message. Miss Somikawa was discovered washed up on the Futamigora coast as a corpse, with half her body having been turned into a fish.
Well, I'll be to think she would meet such a fate. I'm sorry to hear that.
This wouldn't be your doing, would it? We have eyewitness reports that you were seen 2 days ago heading out to sea with Miss Somikawa by boat.
No, well, we did indeed head out into the bay for a little chat, but turning into a fish? Not in a million years.
What did you discuss with Miss Somikawa then?
Why, what else? Mermaids, of course.
Mermaids?
Indeed, Cersei and I are here in Iaseshima on a grand adventure to find mermaids. We just happened to find out that Miss Somikawa was a member of a clan with a strong relation to them. Of course she would catch our interest.
I see. So you knew that Miss Somikawa was a descendant of the sole survivor of Taishima.
Oh, so you knew that too? I suppose I should expect nothing less of a member of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the mermaids of Taishima as well, would you?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Did you learn what you wanted from Miss Somikawa then?
Yes, we got quite the haul of lucrative information from her. The knowledge that one of the Taishima mermaids lived hidden in the depths of Ise Bay until a scant few months ago, for one.
What?
Oh, that caught your interest, did it?
I see. She must have been able to go back to Ryukyu when the seal was broken 3 months ago.
So you even know about Ryukyu? You seem quite well versed in these matters, Mrs. Shiki.
Oh, maybe just a bit. So, now that you know the there are no longer any mermaids to be found here. Have you given up looking for them?
Hardly. There should be one more mermaid out there somewhere. We're here today to see if we can't glean some hint as to her whereabouts, in fact.
Oh, I see. Do you know what Miss Somikawa did after you finished your talk?
No, why would I? We parted ways immediately after I got back to shore. I haven't the foggiest what happened to her after that. Where did you learn?
Where did you learn that Miss Somikawa had a link to mermaids?
Very sorry. It's against my policy to reveal the identity of my informants.
Is that so? It's no use trying to play innocent. We know you have the cursed stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish.
What's that? A cursed stone? I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest what you're all about.
Avi, they already know. Just give up already.
What's this? Stabbed in the back and by my own kin, no less? How could you?
Its spiritual energy is too powerful to hide. I can tell that man over there has already noticed it. You for your help. You saved us quite a bit of trouble just now. Does that mean you'll let us go? I'm afraid we won't be able to just yet. We won't be able to just yet, no. After all, you have a cursed stone as well, don't you? Yeah, I do. We ran into someone who was trying to use it earlier, so I took it off them. Is that so? Honestly, I'd rather you took it off my hands if possible. You don't seem to be planning to do any harm with it. I suppose we can leave that topic for later. So are you letting Avi walk... so why are you letting Avi here walk around with the curse of the Forsaken Fish? To let him live out his dreams, I suppose? I'm afraid that makes for a poor reason.
You're right, I admit it was all me. I didn't want to give it up, so I asked Cersei if I could hold on to it.
This man is caving under the slightest bit of pressure. He's caving under slightly more than normal air pressure. At sea level. 1.05 atmospheres.
I just couldn't let go, not after learning it had such a close link to mermaids.
I see. That is the cursed stone of the Forsaken... of the Forsaken Fish. How did you come into possession of that cursed stone?
Well, that would be a bit of a long story. It all started when I found a mermaid mummy left by my great-grandmother in the old family storage back in the States. That mermaid mummy ended up containing a map, one with a riddle to be solved, no less. That riddle led us to a mysterious box on the seabed. And once we'd solved the puzzle sealing the box shut, we found the cursed stone nestled within.
Oh, a mermaid mummy, you say? It seemed that the keepsake passed down by your ancestor was indeed a cursed stone, then.
Oh?
Yes, let's team up. Let's Avengers up.
By the by, I thought I heard you say something about the Onmyoji who sealed away this cursed stone just now. Am I correct in thinking that they were the ancestor of this young man here?
That's right. He was an Onmyoji by the name of Harukage Tsuchimikado. It is said that he hid a clue to the lifting of a certain curse within a mermaid mummy, hence her own search for the object in question.
I see, and that mermaid mummy ended up crossing the Pacific, passing from hand to hand until it reached my great-grandmother. It's quite the miracle.
I don't think it crossed the Pacific. I think it, like, they mentioned that, his great-grandmother came from Britain, so I think it actually crossed all of Europe and Asia. And then the Atlantic.
Quite the miracle that this cursed stone is here with us today. Almost romantic, don't you think?
I suppose you could say that, yes. Now, putting your return to Tokyo aside, the biggest issue at hand is whether or not you were complicit in his use of the cursed stone. Cursed stones are dangerous things. They should be viewed in the same light as bombs or poison gas, and treated with the same amount of care. Allowing one to be used in your presence is also naturally forbidden. You're currently in the care of Paranormal Affairs. If you're found guilty of misconduct, you'll be subject to punishment under our rules. That figures, yeah. I'm glad you understand. Either way, it's the higher-ups who will end up taking responsibility, so I'm glad to leave things up they're up to them. I never imagined that both of them would have curse stones. There's no doubt that Miss Somikawa was transfigured into a fish by the curse of the Forsaken Fish. And it's looking extremely likely you have the cursed stone that would make that possible. No more excuses, tell us what really happened.
Alright, you've got me. I'll talk. Don't blame me if the tale ends up being too incredible for your ears.
I see. It would seem Miss Somikawa had quite the twisted obsession with mermaids. And you sought to grant her wish by using the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Is that right?
Correct. I know exactly how it feels, you see. The burning desire to see your dreams realized. And the overwhelming despair upon learning that they can never be. The desperate hope to see even the slightest part of your wish fulfilled at the end. Perhaps that's why I couldn't ignore her wish. The curse to meet her end at the hands of a mermaid's curse. Hearing Miss Somikawa's fervent plea and seeing her cast herself into the water like that. I knew this was the ending she wanted for her tale, and so I decided to grant it. An elegy for a woman bound by her lineage and consumed by her obsession.
I see. I understand where you're coming from, and I can't say I don't sympathize with your feelings on the matter. The fact that she entered the water of her own accord must also be taken into account. I imagine it would have made rescuing her quite difficult.
Oh, you're willing to give me a pass, are you?
I'm afraid that isn't my decision to make. Once we've finished our business in Kamishima, I imagine you'll have to come along with us to the office back in Tokyo. Do my best to see if some sort of arrangement can be reached there.
Oh, kind of you. Good thing I thought to ask.
By the way, did you happen to glimpse the resentful memories contained within that cursed stone?
I did indeed. A veritable deluge of information, and 400-year-old information at that.
Was the way to lift the curse of the raging waves included in that information?
It certainly was.
That's it! That's what we've been looking for!
I see, so you're searching for the way to lift some curse or other, eh?
That's the long and short of it. Will you let us have that cursed stone of yours, then? It's too dangerous to leave it unaddressed as it is, so I can't leave it with you either way.
But that just seems so unfair, you know. I was the one who found the map and solved the riddle. Why the cursed stone would still be at the bottom of the sea if it wasn't for me? It's hardly been cheap running back and forth like this. I don't know if I should just give you something so important for nothing in return.
Looking to take advantage of the situation, are we? Yikes.
Judge me all you want! I'm at the edge of my rope here too, you know!
You're so stupid. Everyone in this game is stupid. That's what you're after, then. Money?
Well, first of all, I'd like you to turn a blind eye to the fact I used a cursed stone. And I'd like you to spill the beans on any knowledge you have on mermaids as well.
Turning a blind eye might be a bit much, I'm afraid. All I can promise there is an attempt to reach some sort of deal. In any case, we don't have the time to mess around. I would appreciate if you cooperated without any further fuss. If you don't, we may end up having to get a bit rough.
Oh, intimidation is it? But if you think your poor starts to scare me, think again. My trusty bodyguard here will...
Sorry, but no. I don't feel well, and we're at a disadvantage here anyway.
Over before it even began!
A wise decision, young lady. Starting work on that prison fantasy novel.
Ah, so that's your game, is it? Abusing your authority to seize the property of a defenseless, powerless civilian! State violence! State violence, I say!
You do have a cursed stone, then? I doubt anybody would object to use of force against an opponent carrying a lethal weapon.
Well, seriously? This really is the end of the line, then?
Well, if it's really just information on mermaids you want, I'm not opposed to telling you that much. Only within the bounds of what I know, though. Would that be acceptable?
You mean it, really? Huzzah! Now that's an offer I can't refuse! Consider this deal done and dusted!
Ma'am, it's best if we can get things settled without a fuss. Besides, I don't think it should be a problem, but now. So what is it you want to know about mermaids, then? I'd wager you're after the secret of immortality.
Immortality? No. All I want is to meet a real live mermaid to start with dreams and adventure that drive me.
Really, that's it? Well, even if you had been after immortality, I doubt it would have been possible.
What, you mean the legend about mermaids being able to grant immortality are false?
They're not. I've encountered my fair share of people who've become immortal that way after all. There's even a word for these individuals. They're known as 800-year immortals.
800-year immortals, eh? So they do exist. Incredible. What became of the third Taishima mermaid then? The one known as Nagame? She hasn't returned to Ryugu, has she?
She hasn't. Sabai is the only mermaid who has returned to Ryugu in the end.
Oh, so she's still out there somewhere, roaming the mortal world as we speak.
Oh, you could say that, but you could also say that she's no longer here.
Well, what do you mean? Don't tell me she died.
Well, that wouldn't be entirely accurate. Oh.
What is it, Cersei?
I think I've got it. Figured it out, have you? I guess it's Yumiko.
What, really? What do you mean?
Think back to what we heard before.
Before?
There's not much point in tracking it out, so I'll go ahead and tell you. The mermaid known as Nagame became human. Gave up her existence as a mermaid long ago. She no longer lives as a mermaid, but as a human.
Uh-huh, now that you mention it, that does sound familiar. You mean to tell me that story was true?
Oh, you've heard these events before. I suppose Miss Somikawa must have heard about it from Sabai. Could a mermaid really have become human? Mermaids are originally from another world, right? Normally it would be unthinkable, yes. But it seems a certain talented psychic managed to make the impossible happen. At no small cost to himself, I might add. Oh, amazing! Just fillet the tale.
Can't say I understand why she would do such a thing, though. Why not remain a mermaid? It seems like a bit of a waste to me.
Well, Nagame was a bit different from the other two mermaids, you see. They were serious and dutiful, but Nagame was strongly drawn... Nagame was Ariel. Was strongly drawn to the mortal world and to the humans who lived in it. I suppose you could say she was the opposite of Miss Somikawa in a way.
You don't say.
More than anything. It seems she was particularly drawn to the idea of becoming human, finding the person of her dreams and marrying them, with getting to be the bride. That's a pretty cute dream to have. Guess not all mermaids are the same, huh?
Indeed. To think mermaids could harbor the same hopes and dreams as humans do, I must say she sounds quite relatable.
Perhaps. I imagine she was viewed quite the odd soul among her own kind, though. Then a few decades ago, Nagame happened to meet a certain psychic. The two soon fell in love. And Nagame, who wanted more than anything else to become that man's wife, asked him if there was any way she could become human. The psychic searched far and wide for a way to grant her wish, and after decades of toil, he found a secret art that would allow her to do so.
Oh, such unconditional love, such ardent devotion. A mermaid who wished to become human to be with the love of her life. Why, it's like the tale of Little Mermaid, born in the modern era. Truly a story to grip the heart. How could I not root for them with everything I have?
You sure? That would mean we don't have a mermaid to look for anymore, you know?
No matter! If it was for the sake of such inspiring passion, then I care not a whit! So, Nagame became human in the end, yes, and the two of them lived happily ever after? I refuse to accept any other conclusion.
Well, that's more or less what happened. So I can say with certainty that Nagame the mermaid no longer exists.
I see, so she's still alive out there as a human. What a beautiful tale! Why, I wish I could meet her solely to offer my most heartfelt congratulations. No, I think wedding gifts are in order.
Avi seems to be enjoying himself, but this means there's no chance of us meeting a mermaid anymore, right?
Oh, now that you mention it, that is a problem.
I thought so.
No, my question, Miss Shiki. I don't suppose there would be a way for us to go to Ryugu and meet a mermaid there, would there?
I'm afraid not. It's impossible for a flesh and blood human to cross over to the eternal world. Indeed, you'd have to be dead to have any chance of getting there.
Yeah, just as I feared. There's little point in getting there without us life to savor it. Although, does that mean there's a chance that Miss Somikawa was able to make it to Ryugu in the end?
That I don't know. That I don't know. Not everyone ends up in Ryugu after death, after all.
I see. I suppose we'll just have to hope that she was able to meet the mermaid she so admired in the afterlife.
That would be all I can tell you there. Are you willing to give us your cursed stone now?
Well, knowing that we have no chance of meeting a mermaid now has thoroughly dashed all my hopes and dreams. But you did share with us the most charming tale of mermaid love and longing, so I suppose I can't complain. Here, the cursed stone.
Thank you. Soto, could you take a look at it for me? Very well. I see. If you don't mind, there are a few details I'd like to confirm with you before continuing, Avi.
Very well, go ahead and ask anything you like. I'll even give you the map we used that originally belonged to you and yours, after all.
I see. Thank you. In that case... I see. I think I know how to lift the curse of the raging waves now. Finally. It certainly has been a long road to get here.
Still, you certainly are knowledgeable on mermaids. Where on earth did you get all this information from?
Oh, let's just say I have my sources.
I suppose we could put this down to the vast knowledge of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau as well, eh?
He hasn't realized it yet.
What do you mean?
That's nothing, don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yumiko was formerly a mermaid by the name of Nagame. Unlike her more serious compatriots Hayase and Sobai, Nagame was free-spirited by nature and held a keen interest in both humans and the mortal world. She was even known to break the rules to sneak out and observe human society, something which often put her at odds with the other two mermaids led her to being viewed as something of a maverick. When the entrance of Ryugu was sealed 400 years ago to suppress the curse of the raging waves, rendering the remaining mermaids unable to return home, Sobai was overcome by grief. However, Nagame was thrilled and seized the opportunity to travel the world at her leisure. She was the inspiration for the Little Mermaid, which deepened the rift between her and Sobai. For the next 350 years, Nagame bore witness to the lives of countless humans around the globe, from every culture and era, and her yearning for life in human society continued to grow. She was particularly enamored by the concept of marriage and becoming a bride, finding the idea of pledging one's life to someone and living hand in hand with them, and enthralling. From then on, enthralling. It was this she found herself longing for above all else. About 50 years ago, Nagame met a certain talented psychic in Japan. The two quickly fell in love, and Nagame, who by that point had begun to earnestly wish that she could give up being a mermaid and live among humans in the mortal world, asked him whether there was any way she could become human. Wanting to fulfill her wish, the psychic began to search for a lost secret art that would allow her to assume human form. The two overcame countless hardships together in their quest for the art, and after decades of searching, they not only found it, but finally succeeded in perfecting it. However, the secret art that would grant Nagame her wish demanded a heavy price. For a mermaid, a being who lacked a mortal form in the material world, to gain a human body, the caster's own body would have to be sacrificed. Using this art would render them unable to live side by side as humans as they so longed to do. The two agonized over their decision. Despite their decades-long search, the different worlds in which they lived continued to keep them apart. As a mermaid, Nagame could neither join him on land nor appear before others. Their life together they yearned for remained a distant dream. In the end, the two chose to use the secret art so they could be together in the mortal world. Even when Nagame learned that the psychic Itensai Shiki only appeared young due to his supernatural abilities, having been born in the Edo period and already over 100 years old by that time, she loved him no less. Thus did Nagame the mermaid become Itensai Shiki's human wife, Yumiko Shiki, a name given to her by Itensai himself. Although the process of gaining a human body meant she lost many of the memories and abilities she had possessed during her time as a mermaid, she retained all the memories and feelings for her time spent with Itensai, which was more than enough for Yumiko. Since then, Yumiko has enjoyed a fulfilling life with her human nature, and her relationship with Itensai brings her immense joy. Because of this, she has insisted that her primary identity be that of a housewife, to the extent that she always chooses clothing that will allow her to return to tackling housework at a moment's notice. However, the human body she has gained still differs from those of regular humans. Although she appears to age slowly compared to those around her, it is entirely unknown how long her lifespan will end up being. Following her rebirth as a human, Yumiko decided to pay a visit to Sobai in the depths of Ise Bay to explain her decision and introduce her partner. Abandoning her form as a mermaid to become human was a grave violation of the rules they were bound to, and she expected Sobai to receive the news with utter contempt, if not sever her ties with Yumiko completely. But her expectations were pleasantly subverted. Sobai herself had since forged her own deep bond of love and trust with Maida and Minakuchi, one that similarly transcended their respective species and understood her feelings, thanking her for introducing Itensai to her. However, Sobai never showed herself to Yumiko again after that. After many twists and turns in their quest for happiness, the spirit of Itensai Shiki, who sacrificed his body so that Yumiko could live as a human, has come to dwell in the body of a small dog. Okay. And he continues to enjoy their retirement and quiet life at Yumiko's side in his home in Tokyo to this day. Even before... Okay. They did mention that there was a small dog psychic or something, right? Somewhere. Even before his retirement and despite his current form, he remained an active force in the industry, having devoted his time to such things as taking Soto Kiryu on as his protege, after discovering his potential, assisting with the management of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau for old time's sake, and sending Yumiko, who knew of the Bureau and the work it did, to help out as one of its members. That is highlighted, so I think that it's something that we've seen. Hanako-san. Hers is not coming up in here. But I'm almost certain it was mentioned. Same as before. I'll tell you what to... Okay, wait, that's... Thank you for telling us what happened to Miss Somikawa. As of now, I don't see any reason to doubt your version of the events.
My thanks. I'll leave the negotiating up to you.
Let's move on to the topic of Circe's curse stone, shall we? Alright, here it is. One of the locals we ran into earlier was planning to use this curse stone to cause a massacre, so he confiscated it. Goodness, that's far more disturbing than I was imagining. It sounds like you were lucky to escape unscathed. Where's this local now? We managed to subdue her after taking her curse stone. I don't think she'll wake up for a while. I lost her voice. We managed to subdue her after taking her curse stone. I don't think she'll wake up for a while. So you could get someone to come and take her away? So could you get someone to come and take her away? Alright, we'll make the necessary arrangements later. So who was this would-be mass murderer, and what exactly was she planning to do? She said her name was Kikuko Tsutsui. She didn't have any spirit sense to speak of, though. You're Circe briefly possessed. She tried to use her curse stone to get Avi to tell her what he knew about mermaids. But we managed to fend her off. And take it from her.
That's right. She had hand mirrors and business cards marked with the symbol that serves as the target for the curse, and handed them out around the island in advance for whenever she needed to activate it.
A premeditated crime, in other words, and quite a thorough one, too. That was quite a dangerous position you were in.
I'll say, if we hadn't caught on to her intentions, I've no doubt we'd be sleeping with the fishes by now.
Such is the manner of dealing with curses, I'm afraid. You never know when you might end up the target.
No need to tell me twice. I've had quite enough of curses by this point.
Prudent attitude. A curse's corruption starts from the heart.
Indeed, I'll be sure to remember that.
Did you learn what Kikuko was after in the end? To be honest, I wasn't all that sure myself.
Apparently, she was looking to get her hands on a mermaid to impress some tycoon called Yamashina. Seems he's looking for a way to become immortal.
What? A tycoon called Yamashina, one who wants to become immortal? Couldn't be.
Oh, you know him?
Did she mention where she got the cursed stone from? Could Yamashina have given it to her? Actually, it seems it was someone else.
As Kikuko would tell it, she is Yamashina's illegitimate child, but he refused to acknowledge her. While she was pondering ways to gain his approval, this young CEO's apprentice swooped in. He offered her a sympathetic ear and a cursed stone to use to accomplish her goal. I think that was the long and short of it.
Something like that, yeah. What? So there's someone else involved? It turns out we knew the CEO she was talking about, too. We were pretty shocked. So the CEO was the original owner of the cursed stone, was he? What is his name?
He's a young man named Kippe Ikoma, though I dare say young isn't the first word that would come to mind when looking at him.
What? Kippe Ikoma? Can't be.
Why, you know...
You know him, too? No, perhaps they simply share a name. The Kippe Ikoma we know should have died 6 years ago.
Died? What do you mean?
He's an 800-year immortal. And I got... Oh, wait, that was his name? Kippe Ikoma? And I gotta use the bathroom for a little bit, so I'll be right back. I had to wait for the ad break to end, so I started eating a fortune cookie. Anyway, let's see. Would you mind taking a look at this, Avi?
A portrait sketch. And who might this be? I gotta make sure my mic properly unmuted.
But Kipe Ikuma, you know, wouldn't happen to look like this, would he?
Kipe Ikuma? Oh no, he doesn't look anything like this at all.
Yep. This isn't him. So he's been killing a new person every 10 years so he could take over their life, basically. Yep, this isn't him. I see. Would you give us the curse stone you have, Cersei? I know. The Ikuma I know isn't upside down. Would you give the curse stone you have, Cersei? Sure. Here you go. Soda, would you mind taking a look at this one, too? Of course. Oh, this is... the Curse of Tomoshige? And it has the power to cleave its target in two. Ma'am, this is it. The curse from the Toba case. I thought so.
What's gotten everyone excited all of a sudden?
Right, I suppose we should explain. The name of the man in the sketch I just showed you is Kipe Ikuma. He was killed 6 years ago, and his skeletal remains were recently found in Toba. The cause of his death was a curse, one that kills its victims by slicing through them, bone and all. In other words, it's highly likely he was killed by the curse within this cursed stone, the curse of Tomoshige. Wait, but wouldn't that mean...
You're telling me this Kipe Ikuma was killed 6 years ago by a curse wielded by Kipe Ikuma?
Yes, in other words... the Kipe Ikuma you know, the company president, is a different man. He used this curse to steal the real one 6 years ago, or to kill the real one 6 years ago, and assumed his identity.
What, you're telling me he isn't the real Ikuma?
That's how it is. In that case, just who is the man calling himself Kipe Ikuma now?
Can't say, but it seems he's quite the dangerous fellow. Good thing we managed to take his cursed stone, I'll say.
Yeah, at the very least, we shouldn't have to worry about him using his curse anymore.
By the
way, I believe you said that Ikuma is Yoshiatsu Yamashina's apprentice. If that's the case, then Yamashina had someone working for him who had a cursed stone. But Yamashina had been pulling the strings from behind the scenes. It's possible. We should get in touch with Detective Ide and see if we can't take Yamashina in for questioning. With any luck, he'll be able to detain Ikuma as well. Something wrong? I've already told Ikuma about the Forsaken Fish curse stone.
You did help us out earlier, after all, it only felt fair.
I suppose we can assume that information has reached Yamashina as well, then. Oh, right! He also asked us to look for a bronze mirror that's used to lift Curse of the Raging Waves. The still-tide mirror, I think. Still-tide mirror, eh? Just what could he be planning? Either way, it seems we'll have to keep an eye out for any movement on his end. Oh, yes, we were hoping you'd do us a little favor, Cersei. It seems you don't have a mermaid to be searching for anymore, so perhaps you could use that extra time to help us out. What do you think, Avi?
Very well, permission granted.
How kind of you. It's nothing strenuous, I assure you. We just want you to find out Kipe Ikuma's current whereabouts, that's all. Oh, just an ordinary chore, then. We want to focus on getting the Curse of the Raging Waves lifted as soon as possible, you see. It would be a huge help if you could pin him down in the meantime. He's definitely up to something, and most importantly, you know what he looks like. We'll ask the detective from the Mie police to look into things there, too. One can never be too cautious. Both his true identity and goal remain unclear. Be very careful when dealing with him. I guess that means we'll have to go back to the mainland for now. Wait, I just forgot who was talking. I guess that means we'll have to go back to the mainland for now?
We do have some time left before the last ferry is set to sail, I suppose.
Okay then. I do want to find out what's going on too, so we'll see what we can do there.
Seems we'll be helping you out with your work then. In that case, please do consider putting in a word on my behalf.
Alright, alright. I'll see what I can do. We appreciate the help. If you learn anything of note, leave a message at the station, alright? Got it. Got it. There you go. That's more like how she would say it. Got it. Got it. I suppose we should see about lifting the curse of the raging waves then. Let's get in touch with Detective Ide first. We can find Wakamura after that and see what we can get him if we can get him to cooperate. Understood. Let's be on our way then. She's such a funny woman. Let's think back to what has happened. Oh wait, this auto talking. I mean, she's still a woman. Just because she used to be a mermaid doesn't mean she stopped being a woman. Alien fish these. After calming down Tsukasa, who had the wrong idea after seeing me with Sotaro by the beach, I explained at the Kantekicha ruins that I was immortal and that Mr. Wakamura was planning to hand me over to someone called Unkaku Dono. The two of us searched for a way to stop the curse of the raging waves. We also stopped by the Wakamura home to apologize to Shotaro, but no one was there. After that, we met with Tsuyu, and I learned about who Mare Minakuchi truly was, as well as how the curse of the raging waves had been kept at bay by the bronze mirror she left behind. We also ran into Azami. He looked desperate, saying that the Kameshimaru hand mirror that Kikuko had given me was dangerous, and he's going around collecting them. Oh, this is new. Tsukasa and I handed ours over to him too. Then after that, I can't find Mr. Wakamura anymore. We need to tell him about the bronze mirror as soon as possible. Yeah. Oh! Huh? It's those two. Oh yeah, they're the ones who were looking for their old man's place. Excuse me? Oh, if it isn't Sato. Good timing. We've got something to discuss if you don't mind. Oh, alright. I actually have something to ask myself. Since when did you get to know each other? Oh right, we actually talked a bit after the last time we met. These two are from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. They're here to lift the curse of the raging waves. Wait, seriously? Since when does the police deal in curses? We're a special unit dedicated to things like this. I hope we can be of help. Any birds? No, that's not a bird. That's just wall things that look like a bird. Birdies. There you are. Seems like she's accepting it, but even Tsukasa probably didn't get everything from that quick explanation. Can't blame her though, I still don't fully understand it myself. Huh? I swear I just saw something catch the light behind me for a second. Interesting. What's that mean? Ah! Sato? Something wrong? Oh no, it's just that there's a Kameshimaru keychain lying on the ground here. Yeah, you're right. You just check the poor thing out here. Oh, I almost missed it. I'll rescue it. This is interesting. Because she gave a keychain to Yuza, but that was months ago. Is she just randomly finding keychains? The heck? There's an old well here. These days, most houses have running water, so it isn't used anymore. In the story Tsuyu told us earlier, bronze mirror was apparently found at the bottom of this very well. Can't even imagine how Mare managed to find it here. That's some real tenacity. I really want to do something about the Curse of the Raging Waves. Maybe we can rely on these two. Although honestly, they do scare me a little. You spoke with them yesterday, Sato? Yeah, they're specialists from a special unit called the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. They even saw right through me. Oh, hey, they mean they figured out you're immortal? Yep, first time anyone's managed that. I guess real professionals can figure out things like that. Look, must be so hot. How does he stay so calm and collected? But why is she dressed like a housewife? She doesn't look like police at all. Thank you for your time the other day. Oh, not at all. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Mind if I start from my side, then? Oh, not at all. The good news is we figured out how to lift the curse of the raging waves. Really, you have? Whoa, seriously? That's huge! Bad news is that we need a few things to do it. We're in the middle of tracking them down. If that's the case, let us help you. Yeah, what do you need? Well, the first is called the Still-Tide Mirror. A mirror used to hold back the curse of the raging waves. We know where that is! At least I think we do. You do? We just heard about it from Tsuya Minakuchi. I see. 5 years ago, Mare Minakuchi tried to break the curse of that mirror but failed. That explains why people blamed her for the Southern Sea disaster. If that mirror from back then is still here, then it is very likely to be the Still-Tide Mirror. Yes, that was what I wanted to talk to you about too. I see, thank you. Sounds like the pieces are coming together. But there's one more piece we need, a descendant of the Taishima people. Which means Mare Minakuchi's son Yuza Minakuchi would be our best candidate. Yeah, that should work. Do you know where he is now? Not sure. We've been looking too, since he wanted to pass along what Tsuyu told us. Alright, we'll go search for him. Really, that would be a huge help. We'll go and secure the mirror. Time is tight. If we split up, we'll need a point of contact in case we can't find each other. Could one of you stay in one place and handle communications between us? Good plan. Could one of you take that on? Point of contact. I think it'd be best if it was Tsukasa. I'll go look for Yuza. Tsukasa, do you mind being the point of contact? Me? Sure, no problem. Let's see then. I'll wait for the community hall on Shuo Street. There's also a phone there we could use. Okay, we'll make contact if they're there if anything happens. Thank you. That would be a big help. Alright then. We'll retrieve the bronze mirror first, then track down Yuza Minakuchi and work on lifting the curse. Okay then. Sato, good luck! If you find Yuza, please tell him everything that Tsuyu told us. I will. Leave it to me. Alright, where are we going next? Oh, use a line. Also, we've got double. Let's go here first. This is earlier. After that, I met with Yuza and told him what I'd heard from Tsuyu and Mrs. Shiki, that we needed him to come to the community hall to lift the curse of the raging waves. But after that, I headed somewhere else, this time for my own purposes. What are you doing, Sato? Why did I have two choices? Well, we gotta sneak into the Minakuchi residence. Hello, is anybody home? Who am I kidding? I know no one's here. Okay, I'm here. I visited this room so many times while helping look after Tsuyu. The owner's away, but people on this island don't usually lock up all that tightly. I'd also been asked to come while they were out to help with chores, so by now I know the place well. All sorts of things are scattered on the floor here. Even with this much storage, people still leave things lying about. Guess some things never change. This chest of drawers is mostly just Tsuyu's clothes. I put away the laundry, so I have a rough idea of what goes where, but there's still a personal thing, so I shouldn't open it while she isn't here. Glass sliding door leads out to an outdoor spot to dry laundry. Doesn't get much sun, though. A household shrine for the sea god. Almost every home around here has one. Before heading out to sea, everyone always stops to pray here first. Once they come back safe, they pay respects again and to give thanks. A built-in cupboard fits snug against the wall. You can tell it's been here a long time. These kinds of cupboards help the room feel less cramped. I was so impressed the first time I saw one. Modern design sure is smart. The inside, though, is a bit messy. Tsuyu tends to toss anything in here to get it out of the way. Same, bestie. A light with a wooden frame. Looks like the design evolved from those old lamps with paper shades. I'm glad this older look still turns up here and there. A calendar handed out by the local association. There's one at the Welcomer's place, too. This one's still showing last month, though. There's a circle around the day that marks the day Yusa came home. She must have really been looking forward to it. It's a table. One of those really low tables that's perfect for flipping over. I know because I see it on TV all the time. But with nothing on it, there's not much point to flipping it over, is there? This girl, she's so silly. Alright, altar shelf. That's an altar shelf. Buddhist objects and keepsakes are neatly arranged on it. It also has something Tsuyu once showed me. Here it is. There's something about it, but I can't put my finger on what. It really is just as beautiful as ever. I shouldn't just take it, so let me put it back on the shelf where it belongs. This is the Minakuchi family's altar. There are memorial tablets for Tsuyu's husband, her son, Tosuke, and her daughter-in-law, Mare, in here. I'm sure she never expected that they'd all go before her. It must have been hard to deal with. Is there anything to do here? Guess there's nothing here yet. Maybe we have to go to the other place first. That determined look. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's think about what I need to do now. They used to have a special box called a tamatebako. I need to get it from them no matter what. I have to find a way to convince them to hand it over. This is the only chance I'm gonna get. I'll share what I know bit by bit to hook their interest and negotiate from there. I'm really not sure I can pull this off, but I have to try. There's a small lookout plaza in front of the lighthouse where you can see the sea. Probably meant for tourists. Come to think of it, I've never really come here all that much. Oh. The lighthouse is such an amazing thing. One single beam of light can guide so many ships. Back in the day, you wanted to sail at night. If you wanted to sail at night, you waited for clear, starry skies or lit bonfires along the shore. It was a lot of work. Let's call them out. Excuse me.
You rang?
Yes, could I speak with you for a moment? I know you don't know me, but...
Permission granted.
Oh, thank you? I don't mind him. He always gets a little carried away. Right. So you're Avi, author, and Circe is your guide.
Indeed, great to meet you, Sato.
I've actually heard talk about you around the island.
Oh, really? It would seem we've become quite famous in these parts.
I'd say we're more on the infamous side. But sure. Wow, her blonde hair is so beautiful. I've never seen it in person before. And her outfit looks so unusual. Maybe it's traditional clothing from her country? Now that I think about it, this is my first time meeting someone from overseas. I do feel different somehow, but I can't quite put it into words. Hello. Oh, hello. That's interesting. I sense something peculiar about you. Do you? It's definitely strange, but I can't put my finger on it. Are you really human? You think so?
Hey now, Cersei, that's an awfully rude thing to say to someone. Do forgive her, she still doesn't quite know how to start a conversation.
No, it's fine. Is it fine? Sorry. No, really, it's fine. I heard you were searching for a mermaid, is that true?
Oh, tell me, young lady, do you perchance know of a mermaid? Because if so, you must tell!
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't know anything about any specific mermaid.
No, please.
Oh, please, don't look so disappointed. I feel bad now. You see, I'm rather interested in mermaids, so I was hoping I could ask you a little bit more about them. No, don't look both... Now you look both disappointed and annoyed. Did I say something wrong? Well, the last person who asked the same thing nearly cursed us to death. What?
Indeed, the people on this island are nothing but trouble. I've had enough of it! You're the same, aren't you? You're just after immortality like everyone else. Admit it!
Well, I need to steer the conversation toward the Tamatebako. What should I say? Let's say yes! Yes, I must become immortal. Everything depends on it. If you know anything, I sincerely ask you tell me.
There it is, your true colors, I knew it! You think I just hide over the Tamatebako I struggled so hard to obtain?
Please, I need it no matter what.
Oh, look, the fire in those eyes. Looks like there's more to this. Very well, tell me your tale. If it rises my spirit as an author, then I might just be persuaded to hand the box over.
Really? Alright, let me explain. Let's tell the truth. Alright, I'll tell you, but you have to promise you won't tell anyone else about this.
Oh, I swear it. My lips are sealed tighter than a well-cooked bottle. I will, of course, write about it.
That's supposed to be reassuring.
Don't worry, we won't go breaking any promises.
Alright then, where do I even start? The truth is, I'm what is known as an 800-year immortal. I'm already immortal.
Huh? What? Is that all true?
Wait, are you trying to say that you're that Osato from Kusawa? The real one? Yes, that's probably me?
So, that's why you're doing all this?
Wait, no way, are you being serious? Wait, no way, are you being serious? Yes, completely serious. Which is why I need that Tamatebako no matter what.
You realize what you're saying is crazy, right? Anyone else would be dead against it.
Please, all I need is that Tamatebako. Avi, what do you think?
Are you sure you're alright with this? I can hardly call it sane.
Yes, this is what I want more than anything.
Very well in that case. Amazing! Such stunning spirit! I'll be happy to support that resolve even if I stand alone. This must be the reason I found the Tamatebako in the first place. Here, take it.
Oh, thank you so much. Acquired!
Now that we know the situation, it only makes sense for you to have it. You should have just said so earlier. That's it. I would also like to know how things turn out, so be sure to let us know, okay?
Of course. I won't forget this kindness as long as I live.
Think nothing of it!
Is she taller than Avi?
But that doesn't mean I should apologize to you, Cersei, after all that trouble we went through to get it.
Well, you seem enthused enough by this turn of events. If you're happy with your choice, I don't mind. Yes.
So I'm sure you already know you'll still need mermaid flesh.
You know, I'll figure something out.
Oh, so you do have a lead on a mermaid? I'm intrigued, but I'll leave it at that for now. One more thing. Carrying the Tamatebako may draw some unsavory types. Be careful.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Well, we're heading back to the mainland to look for them. Anyway.
Oh yes, after sightseeing on Kamishima, we were supposed to return post-haste.
I see. Well, thank you and good luck. Alright. I guess there is that scale. I guess, is she gonna eat it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Sato? Even on my second visit, I still need to make sure. It's an okay. Strange for scale that Mario left behind. There's something about it, but I can't put my finger on what. It really is just as beautiful as ever. I shouldn't take it, so I just put it back where it belongs. Okay, I'm here. Hello? Alright. So she does something there that we don't know yet. Oh, there you are. You're Yuza Minakuchi, correct? That's me. I was told to come here, so here I am. Huh? Were you sent here too, Azami? Who, me? Nah, I was just passing by when I heard about what was going on, so I decided to wait here for you. Thanks, Azami. So, as I understand it, you're the two brave police officers who were sent out here from Tokyo to deal with the curse of the raging waves? Brave. I wouldn't go that far. My name is Yumiko Shiki, and this is Soda Kiryu. Nice to meet you. Am I mistaken, or did the two of you visit Kamishima yesterday as well? It almost seemed as if you ran away at the sight of me. Did I do something to scare you off? Dear me, you noticed us, did you? My apologies. I will explain everything shortly. Ah, but before I forget, that fellow over there has business with you as well, Yuza. Huh?
Mr. Wakamura?
He was fairly suspicious of us at first, but it seems we have finally earned his trust. He has kindly agreed to assist us in putting an end to the curse of the raging waves.
Wait, really?
Really, but tell me, is it true you're already familiar with this curse? That's what your friend here told us. Yeah, more or less. Good. Then it seems we're all up to speed. So Mr. Wakamura has been trying to end the curse of the raging waves too, huh?
So you found out about the curse of the raging waves then, eh, boy?
Yeah, to an extent.
I always figured your mother was behind it, and that she was set it for the raiders, but...
Wait, really? That's why you blame my mom for the disasters? Well, you had it all wrong. Turns out she's a descendant of the Taishima Islanders, the victims.
Seems you know more than you're letting on.
Oh, no, that's just what Rand said.
So you knew about this too, eh? Suppose I should have known. But see here, your mother tried to end the curse 5 years ago and failed, didn't she? If that's what brought on the disaster, I wasn't so far off after all, was I? But be that as it may, I still owe you an apology for pinning the curse on your mother all this time. Especially seeing as she was the one who found the bronze mirror and held the curse back for us. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
That's nice to hear.
Good on you, Mr. Wakamura. At least you can admit when you've made a mistake. Huh. When your own instructor comes along and tells you to change your views, what choice do you have?
Instructor? Talk about that sorcerer friend of yours? That's right. We discovered the sorcerer's identity. From there, it wasn't too difficult to reach an understanding. That's how we learned this fellow's cooperation as well.
Seems I misjudged you. If my instructor says you're the real deal, then I reckon you must be.
Huh. You want him to make the pack dead sound?
But just to be sure now. You do have a way to end this curse of the raging waves, yes? I can trust you on that?
Yes, there's still a few points we need to confirm, but it is guaranteed to work.
Well, if that's true, I suppose I won't be needing Unkadono's help no more.
Unkadono? You mean to say that Yamashina has known of a way to break the curse all along?
Oh, well, you know about Unkadono too, eh? As a matter of fact, just yesterday he told me out of the blue he'd found a way to end it. Said he'd tell me what it was on the condition I brought him Satoshi Uranami.
Ha! Information he got from Ikoma, I've no doubt. And he asked for the girl, I see. And you were prepared to hand her over. Isn't she a relative of yours?
So what if I was? That's got nothing to do with you.
You say so? In any case, the information Yamashina had for you must be the same as what we have to share. There's no longer any need for you to betray your own kin.
I'll hold you to that. All the same, I'm not sure.
Is something else troubling you?
According to you and Mara, Minakuchi failed to break the curse that brought on the disaster 5 years ago, but is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
Well, if the still-tide mirror worked as it should, there wouldn't have been no disaster, would there? That only leaves one possibility, don't it? That the Raging Waves curse bearer was stirring up trouble?
By curse bearer, you mean a descendant of the raiders of Taishima?
Exactly. If someone of that lineage got anywhere near the Southern Sea, the wrath of the Taishima would churn up those waters into a maelstrom. Anyhow, my instructor swears that's the true cause of the disaster 5 years ago, and I'm inclined to agree.
So that's your theory, is it? Now I understand why you suspected Mara Minakuchi's heritage. I might gather this instructor of yours never actually accused her of being the curse bearer.
True, never was sure on that point. Said we couldn't be certain given how it'd been 5 years and all. For all the things considered, who could blame me for being suspicious of her? No one knew where she came from.
I don't wish to doubt your instructor, but I'm not sure how much water this theory holds. Yet we cannot rule it out entirely given what we know of the sorcerer's powers.
You're skeptical, huh? Not as if you have any better idea, though, is it?
While you do have a point, the issue remains. If Mare wasn't the curse bearer, who else could it have been?
Oh well, can't say I figured that out yet, but...
Sorry to interrupt, but I have something to say. Yes? Assuming my mom wasn't the Raging Waves curse bearer, I have a theory. You see, I've read over the reports of the incident again and again, and there's something I noticed. What might that be? Well... let's see, what is the incident? 3 fishing vessels, sole survivors using Minakuchi, parents Tosuke Minakuchi and Mare Minakuchi, as well as Azami Kumoi's father, Kyokichi Kumoi. Nishikawa. 1 passenger, identity unknown, reported missing. Who was the passenger? Does anyone else find the mouth movements kind of unsettling in this game? They're kind of a little out of sync, I guess. Out of sync with text. Some of their mouth movements are kind of exaggerated. Yep. Ome Mario. I remember reading that the identity of one of the passengers aboard the Ome Maru was unknown. Couldn't they have been the curse bearer? Interesting. Well, Mr. Wakamura, what do you know of this mysterious individual?
The Ome Maru, that was Yukichi Nishikawa's boat. As I recall, according to the departure declaration, the Ome Maru had taken someone on board, someone in business on the mainland who had research to do. But as no name was given, no one had a clue who they were.
Oh, I thought the point of these declarations was to keep a record in case of an accident. Sounds to me like someone was careless.
Oh, can't deny that.
So this passenger was never identified.
No, but mind you, eyewitness reports say that when the Ome Maru set sail that day, the captain was alone on board. So maybe he picked them up from the mainland, or maybe they never boarded to begin with. Who's to say?
But do you think it's possible this person could have been the curse bearer?
Could be. If it wasn't Mara, it'd make for a hell of a coincidence, though.
Unfortunately, since this Nishikawa fellow isn't around, there's no way to find out. Rays of sunlight beaming down amidst this stifling humidity are accompanied by a chorus of cicadas that somehow intensifies the heat. Any birds here? Any birds in the chat? Hidden birds. This building is where the neighborhood association meetings are held. Takasa must have made the most of her family ties to gain free access to it as a relay station. Apparently Takasa's still inside, waiting to handle communications. Lucky. I bet it's nice and cool in there with the air conditioner on. He's probably working his gray... Blech. He's probably working his gray matter into overdrive, trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Wish there was more time to explain everything properly. Honestly, I would barely understand all this myself. That reminds me, any luck with those hand mirrors, Azami?
No worries there, I got them all back.
Every last one? You must be the fastest mirror collector in Japan. I knew I could count on you. Thanks, Kazami. Oh. Are you talking about the mirrors Kikugo Tsutsui was handing out earlier?
Oh, how'd you know?
I realized they were dangerous, so I had Azami collect them all. Really? Does that mean you figured out they were the targets of a curse?
Wait, you knew about that? So it was true! What's the deal with these things anyway?
I see, so these curse stones can be used to kill people instantly. But since Kikugo's curse stone was confiscated, the danger's past.
Oh, what a relief.
What I want to know is how you found out that Kikugo intended to use these hand mirrors as the targets of a curse to begin with. About that. I'm not sure you'll believe me, but you encountered the Tomokazuki while you were diving and it showed you a vision. That's the long and short of it. Any idea what it means? Paranormal encounters are your area of expertise after all. I have known instances of phenomena capable of instilling memories. However, your experience does not seem to fit with any of them. I wonder why the thing looked like you. Why the thing looked like you. That's the strangest part in my book.
Hold up, you don't think this Tomokazuki could be a kind of curse, do you?
It is true that some curses are accompanied by phantoms known as curse echoes. Yet, as the apparition Yuza encountered warned him of impending danger, it seems unlikely to have been the product of a harmful curse. That being said, I'm afraid I cannot begin to guess its true nature. Hypoxia instilling hallucination.
Well, at least the hand mirror curse is dealt with. That's a load of off our hands.
Right, but we're not done yet. One calamity down, one to go.
Yeah, guess we can't relax till the curse of raging waves is broken too.
Can't put my finger on it, but there's something mysterious about this woman. I had no idea there were actually police officers who handled supernatural incidents. This man is Ms. Shiki's assistant. Apparently he's not officially with the police. Right now he's just quietly following orders, but for some reason I get the feeling he's the type of guy who's really scary when he's angry. Regarding that being you encountered, Yuza, what you call the Tomokazuki. While it does seem to resemble the Tomokazuki featured in the folklore of this region, I suspect it was something else entirely. Why? What are the Tomokazuki anyway? They're both the spirits of Amadivers who were lost beneath the waves in the past, and malevolent spirits born of the fear Amadivers harbor towards accidents at sea. Shouldn't you be out exercising them then? The latter type of spirit is the most numerous, so as long as these fears persist, they'll always return. Besides, my cardio isn't great. However, they do not possess sufficient power to cause real harm. So long as you carry the proper charms, they cannot affect you. So the Seimon and Domon symbols aren't just for show, huh? That is why I cannot but wonder what it is you truly encountered down there. Where shall we begin? About me. Oh, but before you go, I have one last question to ask you, Yuza. Oh, and what would that be? Well, how should I put it? It's a delicate subject. Mind if I have a private word? Huh? Oh, I didn't think that this would advance story so much. What did you want to talk about? Just so we're clear, if you're looking to grow pearls, I don't know anything about that. That would require delicate handling, but that's not what I meant. Yuza, when I caught you in when you got caught in that disaster 5 years ago, did you by chance encounter a mermaid? I did, but how did you know about that? I wanted you to tell the truth. That makes this easier. As for how I know, that would be because it's the only possible explanation. As a teen, you're going through some changes. Meaning... Now, user. A mermaid has cursed you with immortality. You're an 800-year immortal. What? You can't hide the truth from me. These eyes don't lie. I assumed it occurred during the disaster 5 years ago. You must have nearly died. But when you were revived by a mermaid and became immortal. Surely you must have realized this by now. Yeah. You got me. I'm an immortal boy with an undying body. Why did this happen to you, I wonder? I wish I knew. If you could tell me more about it, would you mind filling me in? I suppose that's only fair. What would you like to know? Earlier you said a mermaid cursed me. What exactly do you mean by that? That's what it sounds like. For 800 years you'll be incapable of aging or dying. What is that but a curse? Your very existence defies the laws of nature. You can hardly be termed human. You are now an anomalous being, something closer to a spirit. But for that matter, I'm in no position to talk. Huh? Still, I do feel for you. What possessed her to curse you, a mere child, I should like to know. I always thought that mermaid saved my life. Was I wrong? Well, that depends on how you look at things. Personally, I wouldn't call what she did saving you at all. At the end of the day, she saddled you with an existence worse than death. Is that terrible? It's only been 5 years. The people around you probably think you're a late bloomer. But give it another decade or two and your static appearance will start to stand out. Did you ever meet with a would-be fatal accident in public? It's all over for you. If your immortal nature is exposed, you'll be bombarded with public scrutiny at best. At worst, you'll be captured and experimented on. Either way, from that moment on, you will never be able to lead a normal life in human society again. Humans have always coveted immortality. Countless dream of it even today. But the reality is, only the first few decades of your existence are bound to be enjoyable. It's only going to get harder as time goes on. Humans were never meant to live for hundreds of years. A lifespan that long is unendurable. And speaking as a member of law enforcement. The existence of immortal beings must be kept hidden, or else all sorts of problems can arise. Problems like what? Well, it's not easy to keep a lid on these things these days, and it doesn't take much to incite a panic or start a war. Just last year there was that ruckus over the right of resurrection, if you'll remember. Suffice it to say, whenever I track down an 800-year immortal, I can't just leave them be. What are you saying? Are you going to arrest me? Ordinarily I would. Protocol dictates that I capture any 800-year immortals I find and seal them in an underground vault. That's the fate I was thinking of when I mentioned that being immortal is an existence worse than death. Don't worry, I've got no intention of taking you anywhere just yet. You're a special case. The way I see it, you're essentially the victim here. Not to mention, I need your help breaking the curse of the raging waves. So it seems we'll have to find a way to compromise. I don't know why, but you're looking for information about mermaids as well, right? Well, for starters, mermaids aren't meant to interfere in the lives of mortals, even if their kind don't approve of that. Really? In fact, generally speaking, creating an 800-year immortal is flat out forbidden. Despite that, Sobai made you immortal. In other words, this mermaid went out of her way to place a curse on you. If that settles it, her intent wasn't to save me after all. Exactly. I was hoping you'd be able to tell me what made her go that far. But it turns out you're just as clueless as I am. Yep. All we know for sure is that something happened between Sobai and your mother that day, and that led to you being made immortal. Whether that was simply to save your life or for some other reason, there's unfortunately no way of knowing. There's something else that's been bugging me. Can mermaids create 800-year immortals at will, as in you don't really have to eat their flesh? Actually, you do. You can become immortal without ingesting a bit of mermaid flesh, even if it's a tiny piece. However, it's not as simple as cutting off a slice. Mermaid flesh withers away the moment it's severed and loses all its efficacy. In order for a mermaid to create an immortal of her own volition, You would have to allow a human to bite her directly. How would that happen without the human's consent? I mean, I was barely conscious when I became an undead boy. I mean, an 800-year immortal. Like I said, even the tiniest piece, a mere scrap of their tail would do the trick. You could move someone's jaw while they were unconscious and get them to bite. It's not impossible. Damn, I guess it was a lot more forceful than I was imagining. So all you have to do is bite a living mermaid and then you become immortal? Pretty much. Well, I assume few mermaids would consent to that. So that's how it works. So I guess if you are in a relationship with a mermaid and you don't want to become immortal, avoid biting. But if the flesh has been severed, ingesting it wouldn't extend your lifespan at all, huh? That's right, ordinarily anyway. Ordinarily, you mean there's an exception. If a mermaid's flesh is cut within the confines of Ryugu, it won't wither away. It just grows back. Huh. Well, I've got you here, I guess I might as well ask. Is there no way to reverse immortality? You wouldn't be the first 800-year immortal to seek that possibility. But unfortunately, the answer is no. The moment you become immortal, you lose your mortal form for good. Let's see. There's no way for an 800-year immortal to die other than by waiting for the lifespan to end? No, it's simply impossible. That is what makes it a curse. Not that I want to experiment, but what would happen if say, I threw my body into a furnace or a vat of acid? The instant it resulted in death, you would begin to reform, starting from the part of you, with the largest remaining piece of your heart. Every other part of you would then vanish. No matter how beyond repair your body becomes, it will be healed when you resurrect. I see. On the other hand, you won't be healed if your injuries aren't fatal, no matter how badly hurt you are. For example, taking the furnace scenario you mentioned. If your body remained in the furnace after you resurrected, you would burn to death again, then revive again, and so on in an endless cycle. All while fully conscious. Shit, that sounds like hell. Literally, especially the fire part. My advice? Be careful not to fall into any bottomless pits. Right, I'll be sure to keep that in mind if I ever go near one. By the way, you mentioned I'd resurrect from the part around my heart. Does that mean if my head is cut off, only my body would regenerate? Oh yes, that should be the case. What would happen to my consciousness, my memories, my thoughts? All of that is stored in the brain, isn't it? That's a tough one. As I mentioned, every part of you except for the one that resurrects will vanish. So it seems likely that everything inside your head, including your consciousness, would vanish too. That could happen? Does that mean my regenerated body would have entirely new consciousness? Well, it seems 800-year immortals do sometimes have fuzzy memories after they resurrect. But I've never known anyone who tried what you're describing. It's possible your consciousness would be reinstated, carried over just as it was before. Though it's equally possible that it would be divided or you become a new entity. There's no way to know unless you decide to test it out yourself. Divided, huh? Look, I wish I could make this easier on you. There's nothing I can do. Yeah? So, as long as you stay put on this island and keep a low profile, I'm prepared to leave you be. You've managed to keep your mortality a secret for 5 years now, after all. Thank you. I swear I'll do everything in my power not to get found out, so please don't arrest me. I was wondering, does me being immortal have anything to do with my mom? I mean, is there any chance she could have been a mermaid? None whatsoever. Aww. In all likelihood, you received your immortality from the mermaid Sobai. You see, Mare Minakuchi was a descendant of the clan that was tasked with escorting Sobai back to Ryugu, that much I'm certain of. Is that why she tried to break the curse of the raging waves 5 years ago? I can only assume so. However, as the seal over the entrance to Ryugu had yet to break, things didn't go as planned. Does this mean Sobai could still be nearby? Maybe she's living in the sea around Kamishima? I'm afraid there's little chance of that. See, when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed 3 months ago, Sobai would have been able to return home. Oh, well, I guess that means Mom's duty was fulfilled in the end. Or something, at least. Do you know of any way I could beat this mermaid? You don't give up easily. Are you another mermaid fan? Another fan? Those foreigners who visited the island recently were also very keen on meeting a mermaid. Oh, you mean that author and his young guide? Sure do. You've spoken with them, I take it? Actually, no, I never met them. But I saw them when I had that vision. Is that so? Well, all I can tell you is the same thing I told them. Meeting a mermaid is no longer possible. Does that mean there's no way to visit Ryugu either? I think Ryugu is pretty close to what's typically referred to as the afterlife. You might say it's the space between our world and the land of the dead. Huh. There's no way to travel there, none at all? Sorry, no. You'll just have to accept that. But I'm curious. What were you intending to do if you found a way to meet Sabai? Well, honestly, at first, I just wanted to thank her for saving me, but after what you've told me, that's changed. How so? Well, now I'm more curious to hear about why she decided to make me an 800-year immortal, and about what happened with my mom that day. Not say I blame you. But I understand where you're coming from, but it just can't be done. Even if I can't meet her, isn't there some way I could learn the truth? Well, you can't ask her directly or communicate with her in any way. Well, you know, I heard you have no memory of the incident 5 years ago. Is that true? Yeah, the doctors reckon it's because of the shock. Even my memories of meeting a mermaid are really hazy. Then isn't it possible Sabai told you something that day? If so, the memory of what you heard must be buried in the depths of your subconscious. I can find a way to remember it, but I wouldn't even know how to start. Where would I find my memory of a mermaid? I don't know. The only piece of advice I have for you is to think back. Delve into your memories and scour them from corner to corner. Think about it. You must have encountered Sabai before. All you need to do is locate your memory of that time. Alright then, we'd better head back or your friend will start to wonder what's happened to you. Alright, thanks for answering my questions. Welcome back. Everything okay, Yuza? Of course. For once, I'd had to make you a dramatic entrance. I'm glad to see your usual oddball self. Guess there's nothing to worry about then. Just pick up the conversation where we left off. Fine. 400 years ago, an Onyoji sealed this entrance of Ryugu in an attempt to contain the curse of the raging waves. He left behind instructions as to how the curse could be broken after 400 years had elapsed. There are 3 steps that must be followed. Just 3, huh? First, thou must unbind my seal, risen from the depths with the iron box. Second, thou must offer the seal-tied mirror bequeathed by the sacrifice to the sanctuary. Third, let those who share blood with the lost souls of Tashima be the ones to offer appeasement. That should be the wording, if I remember correctly. Let's consider each of the steps in turn. First, as to the iron box, which referred to the container in which these instructions were kept. It surfaced when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed. It stands to reason that the seal mentioned in the first step must have also appeared somewhere. What is the seal anyway? I think we already broke the seal. We did it the first day. It's the Onmyoji's own symbol, the same symbol used to seal the entrance to Ryugu. This is what it looks like. I expect we'll find a mark identical to the one on this map somewhere on the seafloor. The marked location is likely the sanctuary mentioned in the second step. It should be in the vicinity of Kamishima. Oh, actually, something tells me there's a pretty good chance that seal's already been taken care of. Huh. So I found something like that when I was out diving this morning, and I don't know what came over me, but I just went ahead and yanked the chains off. You what? Seriously, Yuza? I felt pretty guilty about it at the time, but I'm sure it was the same mark, so that means we've already completed the first step, right? If anything, you could say binding the seal was all that my diving training was for. That's one way of looking at it. In any case, all's well that ends well. Good work, Yuza. Moving right along. The second step centers around the still-tied mirror bequeathed by the sacrifice. That's got to be the mirror Mara and Minakuchi found, which we have just retrieved from the shrine in the bay. What I heard, the mirror is what's been holding the curse in check for all these years. That's right, and now it must be over to the sanctuary. Former site of the Tashima Sanctuary should lie in that area. Perhaps that is the location that we seek. In that case, I reckon the hole where I encountered the Tomokazu is the most likely spot. After all, it only appeared a few months back. Can't think of anywhere else it could be. That does seem likely. The only problem is there's no way through. Huh? How's that? Well, there's a powerful current in there. Go too far and it'll drag you down to the depths in an instant. It does not strike me as this natural phenomenon. It is possible the sanctuary lies within. Perhaps one must have the still-tied mirror in hand to pass through safely. That makes sense. Then it seems the way forward is clear as far as the first two steps are concerned. Alright, that just leaves the third. Final instruction stipulates that a descendant of the Taishima Islanders must carry out these tasks, meaning you, user. That's why I called you here. That's why I was called here, huh? Well, I've already undone the Onmyoji seal, so all that's left is to take the still-tied mirror through that hole and offer it to the sanctuary. We're counting on you, user. If you pull this off, the curse of the raging wave should be broken for good. Let's hop to it then. I'll take you out in the boat. Thanks, Izami. Sounds like this is a job for the patron saint of diving. The patron saint? Who are you talking about? Don't worry about it. It's a private joke. Well, I dare say that covers everything we needed to discuss. It's time the two of you were on the way back. We're on your way. That curse won't break itself. Come on, Yuza. The future of Kamishima is riding on you. You have to ride on Yuza to save Kamishima? Right. I'll do everything I can.
Minakuchibo, there, user. If you end that curse, I'll see to it that the rumors about you go away and that you're hailed as the hero of Kamishima. Get it done.
You hear that, Yuza? There's a chance to clear your name for good. Sounds like a fair deal. You can count on me, Mr. Wakamura. Ready to roll, Yuza? You got that bronze mirror with you? Yep, got it right here. Ready where you are. When you are. Once the seals already since the seals are already taken care of, all you gotta do is check out that hole you found last time, right? Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. It's just there and back. Do it in my sleep. Nothing wrong with being confident, but don't get cocky. You still gotta be careful down there. Good luck, Yuza. I'll be waiting right here. Alright, let's dive. I mean, I could collect some stuff while I'm down here, right? But looks like the powerful current has receded. Should be able to make it through now. Only one way to find out. Okay. I want to be where the people are. This place feels vaguely familiar. Have I been here before? Maybe I'm just imagining things. I wanna see him dancing. Walking around on those... What are they called again? There's a tunnel here. Is this the right way? Oh, it's... No, it's dark. There's an open space here, but it's pitch dark. Could this be the sanctuary? Good thing I brought my flashlight. Let's see. Light on! There, now I can see. And I look around. That's weird. Felt the presence just now, but it vanished the second I switched off my flashlight. What I saw, the space ahead doesn't look all that big. I should head in and take a look around. Huh? I'm sure I saw something just now. There's a lot of puddles on the floor. I'd better watch my step. The switch should take me further in, huh? That stone archway over there. Could that be the entrance to Ryuga? I should take a closer look. This would be to the left of the entrance, I think. Nothing here, though. Turn around. All I can see is the way it came through. I am getting lost just turning around. It's hard to get my bearings, but I think this the right nothing here but wall. I like how it's directional. Now let's think. Something's back there, but it only appears when my flashlight is switched off. Guess I better take a closer look. Can I proceed with it off? No, I can't. What the hell is that? Holy shit, that nearly gave me a heart attack. Is that the presence I've been sensing all this time? Wait a minute, is that the mermaid Hayase? Not in the flesh, but what's it called? A curse echo? Like the imprint of a curse? Oh, what if it's the mermaid's echo indicates the presence of the curse? Now's my chance to offer up the still-tide mirror. What if we hold off for now? No, I shouldn't rush this. I've got to keep a cool head. I mean, I guess we've got to do it. There's nothing else, right? Now, the curse of the raging waves, heed my call and trouble us no more! Yeah? Ah, there you are. Good work out there. We felt it the moment you pulled it off. The curse of the raging waves is gone for good, and that's all thanks to you. Indeed, a job well done. The cursed aura that once enveloped the island has faded without a trace. Really? Yeah. We sure couldn't tell, but turns out it worked. Hear that, Yuza? You did it! Yeah, now we can finally relax. Well, that is certainly one problem taken care of. But now my assistant and I can focus on another issue that requires our attention. Already? Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate. Naturally, our conveniences of little concern to the paranormal. There you are! I've been looking all over for you! Alright, Tsukasa, what's up? Not you, I'm talking to Miss Shiki. There's a call for you over at the station, ma'am. Cool. I suppose this must be a police matter. Understood. Head over there right away. You'll have to excuse us. But if there's anything else, feel free to contact me. I will. Thanks for everything. So, Smell, what happened with the curse? It's gone. Yuza ended it. Nice one, Yuza. Now I reckon I've got a knack for this. Maybe I'll go into curse-breaking business. Hit me up if you need any other curses broken. You never know. That might be your true calling. Maybe it suits you even better than being an armor diver. Come to think of it, we better let old man Wakamura know how it all went down. Where'd he get off to anyway? Don't ask me. Maybe he went home? Probably. How about you, Yuza? Want to go see him? Yeah, okay. I suppose we did make that deal. But it can wait until after I had a chance to change clothes and take a breather. I'm beat. Fair enough. Guess it's not like there's any hurry, huh? In the meantime, I'll go work on the boats. Let's meet up later, yeah? As for me, I'll track down Sato and see you and fill them in later. What is going on with Sato, by the way? We still don't know what's going on there. Several hours later. By the way, Yuza. By the way, Yuza. You haven't given up on finding that mermaid, have you? Any new leads? Sort of. Miss Shiki shared some information with me earlier when she pulled me aside. Really? I guess experts on the supernatural would know about mermaids too. So what'd you say? Did you find out what you have to do to meet one? Actually, it turns out the mermaid who saved me isn't in this world anymore. Now, what's that supposed to mean? She's gone back to Ryugu, to the world beyond. Apparently it's a place between this world and the world of the dead.
Wait, really? Does that mean mermaids aren't from our world?
That's not.
Well, sounds like you hit a dead end. Dead end.
Shut up.
Hey, Mr. Wakamura, you in? We've come to tell you the good news. Yuza did it. He broke the curse. So you'd better keep up your end of the deal.
Mermaids are zombies. Maybe he didn't hear you?
Hey, anybody home? I'm coming in.
Oh, the door's already open. That's weird.
Mr. Wakamura?
What the? Oh boy.
Mr. Wakamura, don't tell me he's...
I don't believe it. That wound, did a curse cause it?
We ended the curse, didn't we?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Stuff is still happening! The game is not over yet! Which means, as I was hoping, there would at least be enough for one more stream, so we will have to be ending today for now. We did find a bunch of people, though. What is this mysterious relationship, I wonder? We'll read it later. Anyway, sorry to leave you all on that cliffhanger again, but this time it's only until Thursday. We'll continue this game then, and hopefully we'll be finished by then, and then Saturday will be, I don't know, games and demos. Maybe I'll finally finish up the last few bosses in Elden Ring that I haven't done yet, because I want to get around to doing the DLC at some point. And I have been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I've beaten it like 2 more times in the past week. And I haven't done any of the bosses that I haven't done yet, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that is gonna be it for me. Hope to see you again on Thursday, where we will hopefully finish up this game and see how that's going. I hope you all have. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna go back and take some screenshots of the cave, I think, for next stream, or maybe of the Wakamura's dead body. But yeah, that is gonna be for me. For those of you on YouTube, this is the end of stream. The rest of us on Twitch are gonna go find somebody to raid. So I hope you all have a very good night, and hope to see you on Thursday for more of this game, Paranormasight. Anyway, yeah, that is gonna be it for me. Hope to see you then. Later. Bye! Alright, Twitch friends, who are we raiding?